Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk about these four clubs that we do every Thursday: Liverpool, Forest, Arsenal, and Manchester City. The only reason why Forest are relevant is Wolfie. The reason why Arsenal are relevant is because they're in the Champions League. City are irrelevant. Liverpool will always be relevant. Biggest club in England. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys right here, right now, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. And yeah, vamos. We are here, Habibis. Hope you're all having a lovely, lovely, lovely time. So, joining us first and foremost, he's in an FA Cup semi-final. We're going to ask him, is he supporting City? Or is he supporting his own club because Bournemouth have been knocked out? Oh, God. The biggest fraud on YouTube. Man like Wolfie. Hi, Wolfie.
Salam, Habibi. All right.
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Bro, have you seen this comment in your chat from the center? Someone tell Wolfie Palace are a bigger team than Forest. Wow. Wow. A team that's never won a trophy in their history is bigger. Okay. Go do your research. Anyway, yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm in a good mood today. I'm
glad.
How about you? You in a good mood? Tired?
Alhamdulillah. Of course, we won yesterday.
Alhamdulillah.
We won yesterday. Why would I be in a bad mood?
Yeah, you got lucky, but you won.
A win is a win.
I agree.
Luck or no luck, it doesn't matter. Adi, you saved the Maguire header towards the end. You could have drawn that game, but you know,
Man United, man, we're not going to draw to a relegation threatened team.
It's against Everton. We're not going to draw to a relegation threatened team. Anyway, joining me on the channel next, you get me. He's back after the Ramadan scheduling. He's here now. Very shameless individual, which I think suits Wolfie's energy. Oh, khalas. He's doing this because I called him shameless. Khalas, he's the most objective Arsenal fan on YouTube. He's always objective. He never says anything shameless. He's 100% objective. He's all about the tactics board. 4-4-2, 4-3-2-1. Hello, Ashraf. How are you doing, mate?
4-3-3, Habibi. But first of all, wallahi, I am always objective, or at least I try to be always objective. I never.
Why you say wallahi?
No. Wait. Wallahi, everything I say it with the intention of being objective. Whether it's
with the intention.
Yeah. Whether you guys take it in that way or not is different. But
so when you said Arsenal would be at least 7 points clear, was that objective?
That was objective, yes. When
that
I said
subjective.
7 points clear of
and you
Forest,
said wallahi.
Yeah. That is objective.
You're 4 points ahead of us. So where's the objective?
Yeah, Habibi, it's my introduction. Can you let me land?
Let him talk, Wolfie. What's this Geiger press?
I just came in.
We just added the guy.
I'm press resistant. It's all good, bro. But yeah, look, I'm good. Alhamdulillah, all good. My day was going really well until I heard some absolute waffle. I was listening to an entertaining show while I was working. Just had the podcast on, listening to Al Ahwa, which it's guys. If you really want entertainment, enjoy it, listen. It's a good show. But if you want to hear brain dead comments, things that make no sense, that's also a good show to be in. You laugh, at least you laugh. So it's definitely a show you should tune in. Make sure you guys go subscribe, like that video. Shit like Nuno is better than Arteta. Some shit like Mbuemo can outscore Saka. Shit like Salah and Saka comparison is like Amazon and Temu. Some absolute BS there, but, it is what it is. It's absolute BS, absolute waffle.
We can discuss all of that anyway. Joining us, guys.
We can, and I'm not big ups to my brothers. Not sad, bro. You will lose that argument.
No, you will. No, I will. I've never lost an argument on YouTube.
Just before you bring Albi in, can I ask, does everyone say Al Ahwa? Because we call it Al Gahwa. Does no one say Gahwa?
I say Gahwa, but when I first started, I was working with 3 Egyptians.
Okay.
Yeah, and Egyptians.
The first ever episode of Ahwa was Staffy, Ozzy, and Mo. 3 Egyptians.
Bro, we in Sudan we say Gahwa. In Morocco we say Qahwa. So we don't have Qahwa at all.
Man, that's proper Arabic there.
We say in Jordan we say Gahwa. That's what we say. Gah. We say our qaf, we say it Gah. We don't say but in Fusha it is Qahwa. You get me? So. But Egyptians are Ahwa. تعال نشرب قهوة يلا. Anyway, joining us on the channel. See, we made the Arab joke before we added him, so he doesn't get cancelled.
Yeah.
Man like LB is in the building. Hi, LB, mate.
Yo, big up the chat, innit? Big up the panel. I say El Awa, innit? El Awa.
Oh, I love it.
Come
I
on.
love it.
Come
Say it
on.
again.
I don't know what it means. What does it even mean? I've always wondered what it means.
Coffee.
The coffee shop. No, in this
The
case, it
coffee
means
shop.
the coffee shop.
Yeah.
In this scenario.
So the show is
LB.
called Coffee Show.
Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
the coffee show, the coffee shop.
The coffee shop.
The coffee shop.
It's
show.
basically like Arabs when they gather like in a coffee shop, they sit and discuss and argue and go back and
Yeah.
forth, having shisha and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Hussam remodeled it in that way, but this is also like the online version of the show. I swear to God, in one of the first episodes, one of you guys was smoking shisha. I remember.
Yeah, Staffy literally was
There you
smoking
go.
at it, like he was having argila when the show started.
There you go.
LB,
Anyway, listen,
can I just give him
250.
some advice.
Which is hookah, by the way, for those who don't understand what shisha is.
Yeah,
It's
hookah, argila, shisha. It has.
Yeah.
No,
Regila.
we call it argila. We don't call it shisha. The argil. Big up to all of you guys in the chat. Listen, there's already 250 people in here. We ain't even started the show yet. Let's get the likes up early. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. It's LB, more LBs in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Forest Fan TV. Go and abuse Wolfie in the comment section. And Ashraf Talks Football is in the description. So go give him a subscribe as well. Listen, today I'm feeling a bit like, inclusive. I want you guys to decide in the chat. Everyone in the chat right now, we have 3 topics for today's show. Liverpool, Arsenal, and the City Forest FA Cup semi-final. I want a comment in the comment section. Don't tell me your life story. Don't write me paragraph. Just write City Forest or Arsenal or Liverpool. One word answers is all I want. You get me? So you guys decide. Oh, look at the shamelessness. You guys decide what topic you want to start with. And we'll go for it, because someone on the stream was sucking off City last week, and now he's gonna take them on at Wembley. So
Hey.
it should be interesting. Actually, you know what? Fuck what the people say. I'm gonna start with City Nottingham Forest.
Wait, can you start with that best comment I've ever seen from Baba, man? Halal pub, man. That's
Halal
What
I read
is
that,
it?
yeah.
halal pub. He wrote.
He mentioned halal pub up top, like when we were discussing al-lahwa.
Halal pub. There you are. Anyway, I do want to talk about City Forest. So for Ashraf and for the people who didn't watch, Wolfie is traumatized by Bournemouth.
Not anymore.
Traumatized completely. You get me? So last
5-0.
week he made a statement, I'm supporting Man City in the FA Cup. Do you still hold the same opinion, brother Wolfie?
I was supporting Man City against Bournemouth. Why is that so deep?
That's not what he said. LB, don't lie. You were there, LB.
I was
Remember
there,
that.
man. I was there. It was a weird time in the world, bro. I can't lie.
Well, firstly, can we just remind everyone, and Eid Mubarak to those who haven't said it too. Yeah, it was the last couple of days of Ramadan. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Ah.
Bro, typical excuse.
Ah.
Bro, at least I was here, man. At least I was here, not hiding. Yeah, like some people.
Why would I be hiding? Why would I be hiding? What was I hiding from? Chelsea's win? We beat Chelsea. Why would I hide from that?
I don't know, because maybe you knew that Gabriel was getting injured or something.
Yes. You know, if I could see that law, if I could foresee that kind of stuff, I'd be a billionaire by now, bro. I know
Haram,
exactly
man. That
what
sounds like
stocks
you'd be
to
doing
invest
some
in.
gambling. Haram.
No, I would just know exactly what stocks to invest in or what decisions to make, stuff like that. I wouldn't. I was like, you knew Gabriel's injury is going to happen. Yes, I knew Gabriel will pull his hammy. To be honest, we've had so many, I should have predicted it.
Yeah, but you lot are missing my point. I wanted Man City through because we would beat Man City, but we probably would lose to Bournemouth. It wasn't that deep, man. It wasn't that deep. And I was saying, I don't really care about the FA Cup. It's a bonus to me. It's a bonus. That's it. Top 4 or 5, whatever it
It's
is.
a
That's my.
bonus.
You're the
What happened?
same
What
guy
happened to
that's not
trophies?
Arsenal fan
I've
for
already
not
got
winning
2.
it.
Yeah.
I've already
What
got
happened to
2 FA
trophies
Cups.
is a barometer.
I've already got 2 FA Cups. I'm good.
You got 2
Maybe
Champions
I've
Leagues,
got
though,
I've
innit?
got
I don't
13
know.
I've got
Champions
13
Leagues.
leagues, and yeah, so I've got 13 leagues. I don't care about this year's league. Who
Yeah,
cares?
but Ashraf, I don't think you'd understand it. Like, if you won the Champions League this year, it'd be huge, right? If I was in your position now in the Champions League, if we went out, we went out. It doesn't matter. I've already got 2. It's the same with the FA Cup. Plus, the FA
doesn't
Cup
work that way.
is
It doesn't
is
work
not
that
a
way.
major for me. For me, a major is a Premier League or a UCL. So I'll take it if it comes. Don't worry. And if I get it, I will be shameless with it. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, my priority was top 5. And also, I just don't want Bournemouth to win. because
يا حبيبي
they've
خلاص
won.
Bournemouth are knocked out يا أخي. This is so boring
You
now.
asked
Wolf.
me to explain. You
Put
asked
your
me to
balls
explain.
on the table. What is this behavior, bro? You're
Yeah,
grown
and I'm explaining the way you
خلاص Bournemouth
misquoted
are
me.
out يا أخي. Get over
Okay,
this
hold on. So
Bournemouth
why did
thing.
you
They're
ask me
out.
about it then? Why did you ask me about it?
Bro,
saying
I'm
Bournemouth are
traumatized
out.
by Madrid in the Champions League. When they get knocked out, خلاص, the trauma ends. ما they're out يا أخي.
Exactly my point, man. And you're still going. You're supporting Man City.
No,
خلاص.
because you're saying I don't want to win the FA Cup, and you're the
I
same
didn't say
guy
that.
goes
I
like,
didn't say that.
No. Listen to me. You're the same guy that comes on these streams and goes like, but what has Arteta won, Ashraf? So yalla, using your logic, what has Nuno won?
No, I didn't say that. You're misquoting me. What I said is I would rather Forest not win it if it meant Bournemouth winning it. That's what I said, right? Bournemouth are out, as you say. So I'll go. We'll easily beat Man City. We beat them in our
Holy
last
shit,
match.
you're one of those. So you're one of those
Yes.
fans that
Yes.
hates another club more than they love their own club. That's
No, that's not what I said.
That's so weird. That's
not what I
Spurs
said.
fans.
You weren't
said
even there. You weren't even
You
there.
said, I'm repeating what you just said right now. Tell me if I got you
Yeah.
wrong. What you just said right now, when I was here, is you would rather Bournemouth not win the FA Cup than you winning it.
Yes.
Yeah, because the draw wasn't done.
You're such a loser.
What he's
That is
doing
such
this
a
before
loser
I even
mentality.
said anything.
No, that's
listen.
a loser. The moment your
No.
hate for another club trumps
No.
your love for your own club, it's over. That's a loser
That's
mentality.
not what it is. No. So Ashraf, let me tell you word for word what happened last week.
I would happily
said,
want Spurs to win the league if we could win the
Asma,
Champions League.
listen first, man. Listen first, right?
Yalla,
I
tell
said
me.
if Bournemouth went through, we would get them in the final and we would lose. And I'd be the team that gave them their first ever trophy. And I don't want that. So I said I'd rather City went on and won it if it meant that didn't happen. That's it.
Wolfie, can I be honest with you, bro? Usually when people say that kind of stuff, even though I think it's deluded and it doesn't make sense, and I don't know why people take that stuff seriously, but generally when people say that, it's because they're talking about their big club and another big club with a very loud, annoying fan base that the people care about. Nobody cares about Forest. Nobody cares about Bournemouth. So if Bournemouth beat you, nobody's going to be like, Forest gave them their first ever FA Cup. People will only be talking about Bournemouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it.
unlike you, I don't care what people think. I'm talking
I don't
about
think
what
I've
I
ever
do.
been on stream with
clearly
a
do.
Bournemouth fan to begin with.
Same.
My channel's birthday was 2 days ago. I have been working on YouTube for 4 years exactly. I have not worked with a Bournemouth fan once.
Yeah, because they don't exist. That's what you don't
Yeah,
understand.
so
right?
who will tell
Then
you
what
the
do you worry
thing
I'm
about?
talking about me for my own personal satisfaction. If Forest were going to be the ones to give Bournemouth the FA Cup, then no, let Man City go and win it. That's all I said. And you guys, because there's nothing else to talk about, want to turn this into some next level drama, right? Like it's the most craziest fucked up thing anyone has ever
Wolfie,
said.
Wallah
It's
al-Azim,
not.
you know I'm trying to be objective. Qasam billah, I'm trying to be objective. I think anyone who, and it's not just you, there are Spurs fans who do it all the time. I'm pretty sure there are Arsenal fans that do this. There are fans probably in every fan base that say their hate for another club is bigger than their love for their own club. They don't say these exact words,
not with Bournemouth,
but they
not with
display that
Bournemouth.
behavior. For example,
look-
Spurs last season cheering for Man City to beat them at their own ground, so Arsenal does not win the league, even though it means they could have got Champions League. It's a prime example of that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it. Bournemouth are not my top hated club, by the way. So like, let's get this
sounds
straight.
like it.
It's
Sounds
no.
like
In
it.
So wait,
Premier League,
what's your top hated club?
in Premier League, Manchester United, man. Manchester United, and then
if you-
all the way
So
down.
question. I love this. If Forest could get relegated,
No,
which ensures that United do not win the league ever again, would you do
No.
it?
no. I don't need
No, what,
Forest
like-
to get relegated for Man U never to win the
Oh,
league
okay.
again. It's already happening for a
No,
start.
no.
right?
I'm giving you in this hypothetical.
Yeah,
Let's say,
but no.
Astaghfirullah, I know we don't believe in
no.
genies.
No, I'm
No,
not
but
a
Ashraf,
Spurs fan, bro. I'm not a
you need
Spurs
to-
fan.
I think you need to call him out for something else. Wait.
Well,
I agree with Craig here. Big up to Craig, Newcastle fan. The FA Cup is 153 years old. Show some respect. 1872. The same guy that every time Arteta is mentioned drops the statement, but what has he won? Is now saying, I don't care about
Mm.
FA Cup. I want top 4.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you want to
You are
win the
the
FA
biggest
Cup? Why
hypocrite
wouldn't you
on
want to win?
I've
YouTube.
already got 2. I get why a Newcastle fans saying that, there.
Oh,
But
why
yeah,
do you say you already have 2? Arsenal have 14.
I don't care. I
Exactly.
don't need one. I don't need a third. 3-2. It doesn't really matter to me. It's
So
You'd
wait,
rather
wait.
play
Why do you want top
Champions
4
League
then?
next year, which you won't win, and win a trophy.
Why would we not win it?
Oh my god!
No,
Have
no,
you
no,
seen
no,
our
wait.
transfer
Let's go by
window?
that, guys.
Have you seen how we're
Let's go by
playing
that.
next year? You can't
But why-
have that conversation until
No, no,
at least
but
August.
Wolfie, by your own logic, why do you care about Champions League? You've already won it. Why do you want to qualify for it?
Because
You've
that's a
already won it.
major. What are you doing here?
But
That's a major.
But you've already won it. You just said a couple of
You've
minutes
already
ago.
won it twice.
Yeah, you've already said a couple of minutes ago. If I'm in the Champions League and I don't win it, I don't care. I have to.
Because
So then why
I
does
see
it
the
matter?
FA Cup as a minor. That's why. I told you, like, you're not listening. I said Champions League, Premier League, and majors. That's what I'm here for.
Habibi, your club is not the club you think it is. If you win the Audi Cup that Spurs win, you should be happy. This is not the same. This is not the 1970s, bro. The reality is for you, winning the FA Cup, if you're serious about your team progressing and getting forward and winning leagues, Champions League, this is a good start for you because unlike Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, you're not a club at that level where you're there every single year, and the FA Cup might not make a difference. The FA Cup might actually make a difference to the mentality, to your players, to the manager,
Bro.
the B standard manager who you compare to Arteta, even though Arteta is also not that all that. If you win an FA Cup, that actually does a lot of good for your team.
Bro, what? How are you talking about FA Cups and bigging them up? What, like, what's the furthest you've been in the FA Cup since you've won it?
But we have 14. Doesn't matter, no? We have 14.
Also, when you want to do history, it's okay. But when
no, because I'm going by your logic. If we won 14, it doesn't matter, right?
it's the FA Cup. It's a minor.
Okay. So I have 14.
Would you not
give
rather
up?
win a minor than win nothing at all?
Oh no! Would you give up 10 of those FA Cups for one Champions League?
Not 10. I would give up 5 for a Champions League.
Khalas, there you
Not
go.
10. 10 is.
So you agree
What
it's
do
a
you mean?
minor?
What do you mean? There you go. What do you mean? There you go.
So he's
Yeah,
agreeing
what
it's
have
a
you proved?
minor. Are you putting
What
the
have you
FA Cup
proved?
on the same level as Champions League and Premier League?
Why?
What?
Wait. Why are they
Where's this
mutually
conversation
exclusive?
gone like this way
Yeah,
for?
are they
What-
mutually exclusive? Can you not
What?
win
Okay.
the FA Cup and
Have
qualify
I
for the
come out
Champions League?
here and said I want not to win the FA Cup?
You are
Or I
two
said,
games.
I
You are
don't
two
care.
games away from
You
lifting
said
your
that you'd
first
rather finish
trophy
in
in
the top
40
4.
years.
You said you'd rather win in the top
I
4.
would
than win
rather
the FA Cup.
finish in the top 4 because my priority's on the majors. I ain't Arsenal here,
But you're
man.
not going to win the majors.
You're not
winning
gonna win the
Champions
major,
League
though.
next year.
Yeah.
How do you know? This time last year, if we were sitting here and I said my priority's to get in the top 4, you'd all be saying you ain't getting into the top 4.
You
No,
think
but I
you're
would
gonna
say
win
that's
the
a lot more
Champions League next year?
I haven't said that. I said those are my targets.
No. If you are willing to put the top 4 qualification above winning a trophy, which you're 2 games away from winning, you got to sit there with chest and say we will win the Champions League.
Exactly.
I don't have to do that.
Of course
Yes,
you do.
do.
Yes,
No, I
you
don't.
do. You are 2
No, I
games
don't.
away from winning a trophy. You are saying you'd rather finish in the top 4 than win that trophy, which
Yes.
you're 2 games away. So
Yes.
you are basically saying you'd rather do that than win a trophy. So to qualify the top 4, then you need to be saying, I want to do that, LB, and chat, because I think we're going to win it next year.
Stop
And then
trying
I
to
thought-
get a clip out of me. Like I said, I will tell you
Well,
whether or
we've
not
got
we will
clips
win.
already. We've got the clips already, bro, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
the
I'm
biggest
just saying,
waffle on YouTube
I
is
will
afraid of
say-
getting clipped. Okay, wait. Do you count Europa League as a major trophy?
I count it above the FA Cup, but not full major.
Is it a major trophy? Yes or no?
No.
He said no.
Oh my God! You don't think the Europa League is a major trophy?
This is insane.
This sport is fucked in this guy's
It's
mind.
fucked, bro.
But Wolfie,
I
what is
have
wrong
2
with you?
majors, man. I have 2 majors. Champions
No,
League.
I'd get
League.
if he says that. If he's like, I get if LB says that. If LB says, I am Man City, I've been top of the world last 10 years, Premier League, Champions League, or bust. The other stuff, I don't like. I want us to win it, but if we don't win it, if we win it and we screw up in the main 2, I'm upset. That's the ones I'm focusing on. I get it, because when you get to the higher levels, you become greedy. If Madrid this season win the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, but lose the Champions League and La Liga, they don't give a shit. They're sacking Ancelotti anyways. You cannot say that, my brother,
Yes, I
because
can.
you are not that kind of team. Ajax, which is 10 times the historic club that your club is, right? If they reach a Champions League quarterfinal right now, they're celebrating it. They're not going to go like, well, we have 3 or 4 Champions Leagues already, so who cares? Like, we have 3 or 4 Champions Leagues. Then, because the situations have changed. You're not that kind of club. Sheffield Wednesday, if they get promoted to the Premier League, they're celebrating that. Their fans are not going to go like, well, we won a league in the past, like 100
Yeah,
years
same with
ago.
Sunderland. They got like what 6
yeah,
league five.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you guys are making
Sunderland
this
has as many.
black
No,
and
Wolfie,
white.
let me talk. Because you've been waffling now. First of all, big up to Craig
have
again,
been
who says FA Cup is the father of all football competitions. Then he comes back and says Forest are the new Spurs, top 4 trophy.
Again,
sounds-
misquoting.
You know, let me call out
sounds
Wolfie.
Wolfie.
like a Spurs fan.
Yeah, it's even worse. Let me call out Wolfie.
No.
Wolfie has become everything that he has hated.
This is
Working
so
with
true.
him, this working with him over the last 6 months, I know exactly what Wolfie is all about. Wolfie always consistently stream in, stream out, mocks Arsenal for winning nothing but an FA Cup under Mikel Arteta. That's his constant
exactly.
mockery, which
True.
is, oh, what have you won, Arsenal? You've only won the
Facts.
FA Cup. And the same guy comes back on this stream and says, I'd rather qualify for the Champions League, who we all know they're not going to win next season, ahead of winning an FA Cup. Put yourself in Nuno Santos' shoes. Put yourself in all those players' shoes. What are they going to remember 10 years from now? Lifting the FA Cup and having that medal, or qualifying for the Champions League? And on top of that, I promise you, I know Wolfie, even though I didn't work with him at the time. But Wolfie would have been telling the Spurs fans the same thing. Yes, Pochettino got you to a Champions League final, but what has he won? So I can use the same logic
True.
against Wolfie.
Yes.
Nuno Santo, yes, he qualified you for the Champions League, but what has he
won?
won? Because
Yeah.
Spurs, whether you like it or not, when Poch took them over, they're fucking shit as well. So them getting sustainable Champions League football is actually an achievement, because Spurs are a shit dead institution. But
Nope.
someone like you right now, look at where Forest are. With all due respect to all the clubs competing for top 4, Forest, 80%, 75% are going to get top 4. 85%. I tell you what, even if Forest have a drop off and they're shit in the last 8 games of the season, I think minimum they finish 5th, which is what? Champions League football anyway, right? So they're qualified to Champions League. You are 2 games away, just 2 games away from actually lifting a trophy for the first time in 40 years. And when people say stuff like major trophy and all that stuff, the only thing that we watch that is not a major trophy is the Community Shield. That's the only thing that is objectively, and I can give you objective reason, because the Shield was shared just 12 years ago if the game ended in a draw. There is no trophy in history of football that gets shared, because you actually don't need to win something to qualify for the Community Shield. Case in point, if City win the FA Cup and the Premier League, the team who finishes second gets in the Community Shield game. AKA Arsenal, when they won the Community Shield, they didn't win anything last season. So you don't even have to win anything to qualify for it. All the other competitions, you have to win something. The Carabao Cup is a major trophy. The FA Cup is a major trophy.
No.
The Champions League is a major trophy. The Premier League is a major trophy. But if you're discussing level of trophy, I can agree with you. Champions League is the most luxurious. Then comes Premier League. Then comes FA Cup. Then comes Carabao Cup. We can agree. Yes, they're all majors, just like, let's say, you know, a Nissan GTR is a supercar, but it's not a Bugatti. We can agree that the Bugatti is the Champions League. The Lamborghini, the Ferrari is the Premier League. But guess what? It's better to have a GTR in your garage than have nothing. And that's the point. And you're the same guy that mocks Arteta for winning nothing.
Okay, you done misquoting me.
You're a hypocrite. You are.
Are you done misquoting me? Are you done misquoting me?
One final point, yeah. If you win
Go
the
on.
FA Cup, you match Newcastle on trophies.
Okay.
But he doesn't care about Newcastle. He only hates Bournemouth.
No, I hate Man U. Okay, if you're done misquoting me, I have not said don't give me the FA Cup. All I've said is my priority is getting in the Champions League over the FA Cup. That's it.
No, you said something else as
I
well.
don't understand why you lot are making this binary 0 and 1. Okay?
Because,
and if you said to me I could
something
have
else.
one,
Yep.
if you said to me I could only have one, I'll take the Champions League.
Which we find astonishing.
You lot are making this sound like I've said fucking give me relegation over an FA Cup.
We find that viewpoint astonishing.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit
And
if you find it astonishing because
But why we still don't fully understand why you've chosen that.
okay, so let's do this, right?
Because you don't honestly believe that you can win it next year, do you?
What, the Champions League?
Yeah.
What did we do the first time we went in the Champions League?
No, come on, man. Don't be shameless.
What are
That-
you
is
doing?
that shameless to
Honestly,
say?
bro.
Yeah, that
It is
very
shameless to say yes.
Really?
Because the conditions are different. The stadiums are different. The fans are
conditions.
different. The
You
players are
won't even
different.
make
The
the
manager is
group
different.
Yeah.
Everything's different, bro. What are you on about? And you said 2 shameless things. You said that one, which LB just mentioned, about the FA Cup over top 4 trophy for Nottingham Forest. And you said you'd rather you don't win an FA Cup if it means Bournemouth doesn't win it. Like
Because we would have been
mad.
against them in the final, man. We would have lost. This is the
Oh
thing.
my
You don't
God.
understand our record against Bournemouth. You don't
Who
understand.
cares? That doesn't mean you
If
should
we
want
played
them to
Bournemouth
not
in the
win
final,
more
we
than
would
your club winning.
lose. If we played Bournemouth in the final, we would lose. It's that simple.
that's-
Yeah, forget the
that's-
Bournemouth thing. We're
Get
over
it
that.
up, man.
Can you
Okay, let me
explain
ask
your
you this.
hypocrisy? Can you
Let me
explain
ask
your
you this.
hypocrisy now, please?
Okay,
Explain
let me ask you this: if Forest dropped
Very
out
well.
of the top 5, and won the FA Cup, is that better than us losing the FA Cup and being in the top
Okay,
5?
I'm going to give you objective
Yes.
answer.
For you,
if
that's
win
better.
the-
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you a completely objective answer. If
Go on.
Forest win the FA Cup, they qualify Europa League, which is also an achievement for Forest. So now what?
Yeah.
Okay,
And you
but
can
do
actually win
understand
that next
the
season.
Yeah, and you have a
financial
bigger chance of winning
difference.
Europa than
You
you
have a
do
bigger
UCL.
chance of winning that next season.
So now what?
No, you do understand the financial difference between being in the Champions League and being in the
So
Europa
who cares
League.
about
Yeah?
the finance? These guys spent
Wolfie-
10
Well,
million pounds
obviously
on
you
the
don't
league.
care, bro, because you got 115
No,
These
chances
that's
guys
not
against
spent
true.
10 million pounds on
Wolfie,
the
that's
league,
not
bro.
true.
Why
But
do you
that's
get that
not
money
true
for?
because you're
It's not
not
true.
looking at it's not true because you're not looking at the entire picture. If you make it to the Champions League and you end up getting that money, and let's say if I believe what you're saying, that your owners are serious and you'll spend, if you spend that money to invest your squad, even to invest in your squad even more, you're now trying to build a Champions League level squad, which means if you end up missing Champions League even once, it puts you in a disastrous position.
So it is true, is
AKA
what you're saying. You're going to
AKA
another
wait,
hypothetical.
No. It's reality of what happens to clubs. Newcastle is a big example. Newcastle made Champions League, dropped out, didn't make top 4 again, and they suffered last season, which is why they couldn't invest. That's
Have
exactly
Villa
what could happen.
suffered? Have Villa suffered?
We don't
I'd
know
say
yet because we
they
have
probably
to see how.
suffered, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
No,
Yes,
no,
they-
they have
because
to be honest. To
Newcastle.
be honest, yeah, they were close to getting a fine. I know they escaped it somehow, but they were close to it. They were very close to it.
You
And
think
you
there
can't
only
be.
cares about a shitty fine? Bro, what are you doing here?
What do you mean? But these things do
I'm
affect
saying,
clubs.
did Villa suffer by qualifying for the Champions League last season?
I think they probably have suffered this season, yeah.
How?
Maybe.
Because it's
But
made them
why?
worse in the league.
I think
What
it's
do you
in the
mean?
league form has not
Yeah,
been
if they
anywhere
don't
near
get
where
Champions
it's been
League this
expected.
season, which is very, very probable, they lose
No,
that
it's
kind of
not
money.
very
But
probable.
yeah, it is because only top 5. And if you're going to get it, and I'm going to get it, and Liverpool are going to get it, City are probably going to get it, there's only one more spot left, which is Newcastle,
so they
Chelsea,
are
or
in
Villa.
contention for it, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
also in the
but-
quarterfinals of the Champions League and the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Wolfie, but
Yes
you
or
get
no?
my point. If they miss the Champions League this season, which is a very high probability, that means now they have a number of Champions League level players, right, that they cannot pay anymore, and they've lost the Champions League money. These things don't work that way. You can only
okay,
you
so
should
if
only-
they don't
you should only
qualify-
aim to go into the Champions League if you know you have the financial backing. And I know you're saying you believe your owners are going to do that. Maybe if your owners are going to be able to reinvest and reinvest and reinvest and reinvest, and you have that cushion, but you're not that kind of club. No offense. because
Okay,
you don't have
fine,
that kind of
Ashraf.
team, the kind of manager that can make it to the Champions League again and again and again. Hussam, what do you think is the chances of Forest making?
Wait,
Champions
Ashraf, before you get to Hassan,
Yes,
let me
well-
ask you this.
No,
So
but
you're
just ask
saying
this
for
to Hussam,
Villa...
then I'll come back to you. One second,
Okay, go.
Wolfie. Hussam, what do you think is the probability of Forest making Champions League spots again next season?
Ooh,
Like,
that's
give me a
good question.
percentage.
I'd say 10%.
No, I wouldn't say 10%. I think that's too harsh. I'd probably say 20%.
20%. I was going to say,
chance.
yeah, I was going to say like 20% as well. So the three of us, unless you have a different opinion, don't think your probability of making Champions League again is super high, which means it will negatively affect you financially.
Okay, so what you just said about Villa building a Champions League squad, and if they don't get Champions League, it's going to cause them issues. Yeah, did I hear you correctly?
It will affect them financially, yeah.
Okay, so they need to get Champions League is what you're saying, yeah?
This season, yes.
Okay, so if Villa, let's say Villa go out to PSG, they're left with the FA Cup and a top 4 race, top 5
Yes.
race. Which should they be going for?
FA
In
Cup?
their scenario. So the thing is, I want them to win. They should win the FA Cup, obviously. I do want them to
No,
win from
they
the
only get
beginning.
to do one. We'll do the
But,
thing you did to me.
yeah. But by
I'll
your
go
logic,
FA
for me,
No, by your
for me,
logic.
honestly, yeah, I'll tell you. For me personally, it depends on how Villa are moving. I think Villa have a much bigger chance than you guys. Again, no offense, just given their players, given like the quality they have, given the manager, I think they have a much bigger chance than you guys at becoming a serious top 4 contending team for the next 4 or 5 years. I don't think you guys have that. If Villa are serious about that, then I understand why they would prioritize Champions League. It makes sense because they're going for that again and again, and they're keeping their players. I think what you guys are going through now, and I hope I'm wrong because I do want to see you again, Wolfie, next season. I want to see you in streams. I think what you guys are going through right now is a one-season wonder. I don't think you'll be
Can you answer the question?
In Villa's case, I understand why they would prioritize Champions League. Your case, no.
No, I'm saying, what do you think they should prioritize? If they could only have one, top 5
go
or,
FA Cup.
or
If
I'd
I
go
had
FA
to pick
Cup.
one, I would still say FA Cup. If I had to pick, if I'm
No,
Villa's
but
manager,
you said they have to get Champions League this season.
Yeah,
so
because
they're
they
Yes.
put
saying the
themselves in
Champions
that
League squad.
position. They put themselves
Yes.
in that position.
exactly. And also, if they make it to if they win the FA Cup, yes, they get a step back because they end up going to the Europa
Do you
League.
realize
They might
how
lose Rashford.
contradictory
They
your
might lose
logic is now?
Asensio. It's not
It's not
contradictory.
I
I'm
know
saying
that ain't you talking about hypocrisy and contradictory
There's a
when you haven't
difference
even
between the
answered my
clubs,
first
Wolfie.
point. So okay, so Wolfie, from this day forward, you can never mock Mikel Arteta for not winning a trophy. Never.
Wait, no, you can't even say that. If I've
I
mocked
can
him for
because he
winning
makes
the
top
FA
4
Cup,
every
and
year.
I
You
said
can't
I'm
say
not
that.
prioritizing the FA Cup, that
And Arteta
literally
did
backs
win an
my
FA
point
Cup,
of
by the way.
mocking him for the FA Cup, does it not?
No.
I'm using your logic against you.
No, you're not. You're using
Yes,
my
I am.
logic to help me. If
Yes, I
I'm
am.
saying
Top 4
FA
is better
Cup,
than FA
wait,
Cup.
if I said
Top
FA
4 is
Cup's
better
not
than
good
FA
enough.
Cup. So using your logic, you could never mock Arteta. 3 years he's making top 4. Done.
No.
100%.
What are you talking about? You said about the FA Cup. If I mocked him for the FA Cup,
Even-
and then you're saying you
even
can't
like
mock him for the
being
FA
right,
Cup.
You are agreeing you're getting cooked. Put 1 in the chat if you think Wolfie is getting cooked right now. Just put 1 in the
Yeah,
chat.
and put 2 if you think the rest of us are getting cooked.
And
I'm
you know what's
curious.
also cooked? The like count. Let's get the likes up. We're not even at 100
Mm.
likes yet. 500 people in the building. Put 1 in
LB,
the
you
chat.
actually, you actually put
Look
one.
at the one.
Subscriber,
Look at
innit?
the one.
So,
Look. The problem is it's you. It's the same guy that mocks Arteta for not winning anything, coming here and saying, "Oh, I'd rather have top 4."
Okay, now you're changing it because you said you were mocking Arteta for winning an FA Cup. Now you're changing it, yeah?
Wolfie, you as Wolfie, Forest Fan TV, can never ever mock ever Arsenal. Why? Because using your logic, qualifying for top 4 is better than FA Cup. They've qualified
No.
for top 4 3 years in a row.
No. Again, you stop it halfway, don't you? Why do I want to qualify for top 4?
why? For what reason?
Money, for the money.
For the money that you're not
For
gonna
2
get.
reasons: money and a chance to win a major. It's that simple.
But,
Not gonna
Whether or not you
money,
believe
man, what are
I
you
can
talking
win a
about?
major
Money, man.
is on you. And
What are
like
you
I
talking
said,
about
if
the
I
money,
sat here
man?
last year with this time last year and said Forest will be top 3, you'd have the exact same energy you have for it. Okay?
Not the
End
same
of
as
discussion.
winning a Champions
Whether or
League.
not you think I can do it or not is irrelevant to the point. To win a major, you need to be in a major. It's as simple as that.
You're 2 games away from winning a trophy.
And I'm not saying don't give it to me. I'm saying my priority is to get the 3rd star on here.
Third star.
That's crazy, man. You are 2 games away from lifting a trophy. You've not won a trophy for 40 years, and you would rather qualify for a tournament that you're not going to win.
How do you know we're not going to win it?
You're not going to win it.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the Champions League.
All right.
You're not going to win it, and you're not going to win it next year, and you won't re-qualify for the Champions League. So you've got one chance to win it, and you're not going to win it though. That's the
All right, we'll see.
So
Let's
hang on a
zoom
minute. No, wait a sec. So you think you've got a better chance of winning the Champions League than the FA Cup?
I think we've got a better chance of winning the Champions League if we're in it than if we're not in it.
Right, but 2 games left in the FA Cup against Manchester City.
Does the FA Cup give me Champions League?
No, Europa League.
Okay.
But you got Manchester City and Aston Villa or Palace. So do you think you've got a better chance of winning the Champions League next year or the FA Cup this year?
I can't answer that because I haven't seen our transfer window.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
We're not doing
Assuming your club does the ambitious transfer that you think they'll do, answer that then. Actually, I have a better question for you. Do you think
questions, man?
Do you think Arsenal have which team has a better chance of winning a Champions League? Arsenal this season or Forest next season?
Forest next season, because you'll never win it with Arteta.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
And you'll
Unless
never
you're
win
going to
it
beat Madrid,
with
are you?
Nuno.
I don't know.
You'll only win an FA Cup with Nuno, which I think you have a chance of if you knock City. I don't think you will knock.
Can I ask you an honest question? Do you acknowledge that you do sound like a Spurs fan right now?
You
No,
do. Yeah.
because Spurs just want to qualify for the qualification's sake. I want to win it. That's the
Arguably,
difference.
you sound worse because the
I don't
delusion is
really
off the
give a
scale.
shit, man.
Same. I think you sound worse.
The delusion is off the scale here.
Okay,
And the-
but
and the-
again,
and
if
the
I
fact
sat
that you're
here
2
last
games
year and
away
said
from the
top
trophy is
4,
crazy.
would you call me deluded? If I sat here last year and said top 4, would you have called me deluded?
there is a difference, massive difference between getting
Yeah,
top
there's a
4 and
massive
winning
difference.
the Champions League.
That's facts. Correct. Yeah.
Villa
You don't
Villa
have
made
a
top
single-
four.
No,
Newcastle
but I
did.
You
didn't
don't have
say
a
that.
single
I
player
didn't
in
ask
your
that
team.
question. I didn't ask that question. You're connecting the two subjects together. I said if I sat here this time last year and said I'm getting top 3, forget top 4, would you or not have said deluded?
Yeah, I would have called you deluded.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
then.
You think you're going to get 2 miracles in the space of 2 years?
I got 2 miracles. Way back
Habibi,
when.
this is not a miracle. It's guys finishing top 4 is extremely difficult. It's not a miracle because Villa has done it, Newcastle has done it, Leicester came close to doing it 2 seasons in a row and then missed out and finished 5th. We've seen these
But
anomalies
would you
happen.
so you wouldn't have
We've
called me
seen a
deluded,
team-
Ashraf?
We've seen a team battle relegation, right? And then next season win a league. We've seen a team battle relegation and then next season finish top 4. Seeing a team like that go to the Champions League and win it, we have never seen it, at least in the last 30 years. So what you're asking, what you're thinking your club will do is not just a miracle, it's something that's never been done before.
Do you know what my
And
club did? Do you know what my club
you
did?
you don't have the resources and the facilities to get something like that done next season.
Do you actually know how we won the Champions League, Ashraf?
Yeah,
Just out of
Habibi, that's
interest.
30 years ago. I don't care
Okay,
what
but
Brian
do you
Clough did
know?
back then.
Do you
It doesn't
know?
apply now. It doesn't
Do you know?
apply. It doesn't apply.
But
I don't
yes
need
or
to
no?
know because it doesn't apply.
So you
I
don't
don't need
know.
to know because it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply. I know you came to the Champions League in your first season, you won it. I get it. And then you
Do you
defended
know
your
what
title
happened
next
before
year.
that? Do you know what happened before that?
Yeah,
we
you
got
were
promoted, won the
Yes,
league in
I
the
know.
promotion season,
I know,
won
I
the
know.
Champions
Who-
League.
I know.
Yeah, but
won
what,
it back to
who
back.
was your
Yes.
manager? Who was your
And
manager?
Steaua Bucharest won the Champions League before.
Wolfie,
It
who
doesn't
was
mean
your
they're gonna
manager
win
at
it
the time? Who was your manager at the time?
The absolute legend that is Clough.
Right, one of the greatest managers to grace the English game.
The greatest, yeah.
Right, okay.
The
With all due respect, as good as Nuno is, he ain't no Brian Clough.
Yeah, he's not
Agreed,
Brian.
agreed.
He's not even
Agreed.
better than Arteta.
So what we've got here is a situation where you
Allah.
had one of the greatest managers to have lived the game, yeah? And now you've got a good manager in a new era, 2 games away from winning an FA Cup, and you'd rather enter a competition that you will not win next year, and you will not re-qualify for the Champions League either to top it off.
Okay, even if we don't
Crazy.
win it, okay? Even if we don't win it, for my club, is it not better for the financial security, for the growth of it and everything, like bringing in the Champions League
Your
money?
financial security, your guy's rich, mate. The guy who owns you is rich.
Yeah, but I'm talking in terms of PSR, FFP, all that shit.
No, you don't care about that.
We don't care about that. We
Well, you're
we don't get
convicted felons.
115 charges. I get it.
You're convicted felons. Like, you broke the law.
I got a
Who cares?
speeding ticket, bro. We've done this.
No.
I got a speeding ticket.
So he's not going to care now, is he?
Bro, I sped. You lot are down for freaking capital murder.
Why
and
wouldn't you
stuff.
rather, just win the FA Cup, go in the Europa League, and then if you said to me, we could win the FA Cup and then go and win the Europa League, I sit here and say, you know what? Yeah, you could do that, and that'd be 2 big trophies in 2 years.
Because
You're trying
I'm
to run
skipping
before
that.
you can walk, mate.
No, I prefer to run before I can walk.
Yeah, but you can't run. You need to do the walk thing first.
I haven't done the walk in the last 3 years. We've been doing the run, so we didn't skip
And
the walk.
the problem is with his this whole conversation is the following. This is actually the issue with what Wolf is saying. He's the same guy that mocks Arteta. He's the same guy that mocks Spurs. He's the same guy that keeps talking about trophies. And now he has the chance to win a trophy. And there's genuinely, like, there's a bigger problem with all this. Forest have like 90% guaranteed top 5 already.
93.3.
So it's not like you have to pick and choose. Why are you making us pick and
Because
choose?
you
FA
asked the
Cup?
damn question, which I'd rather have.
Stop offering. Okay. Why are you making us pick and choose whether you win FA Cup or get Champions League when you can do both, objectively speaking?
Sorry, say that again. I was just reading a message.
Yeah, can you stop responding to the Forest fans who you're embarrassing publicly?
Sorry.
Can you answer my question?
What
You
was the
are
question?
currently, as with your own words, 93% guaranteed top 4.
0.3.
And 2 games away from winning an FA Cup. Why the hell should you pick and choose between winning an FA Cup or getting top 4 when you can do both, objectively
Yeah,
speaking?
exactly. I'll do both, but you asked me the question. You did the hypotheticals. Like,
I asked
this
you the
is
question
the
based on
thing
your
you're
own
doing, man,
hypocrisy.
because this
I
league is
asked
so
you the
tough.
question based off of your own hypocrisy, which is what have you won? What have you won, Ashraf? What have you won? And now you have the chance to win something. You're like, I don't care. I want top 4. That's
Yeah, I
literally
want
Spurs.
Champions
I'm going to
League.
remember this conversation, right? I'm going to remember it.
Same.
Bro,
Because if
LB,
you
we got
don't-
bad conversations we need to remember off each other from this last
because I'll
week.
tell you
man.
something, yeah. I'll tell you something, yeah. If you don't win the FA Cup, right, and you get knocked out in like the group phase or the round of 16 next year, and you won't
Which will happen.
re-qualify for the Champions League, this is all likely to happen, then you're gonna get cooked.
And if I do,
And by the way, when that happens,
What if you
you're
win the
gonna start
Champions
losing
League?
your players.
If you win the
or
Champions League.
if I go through, if I win the FA Cup and all this, then what?
Well, if you win the FA Cup, fairs, but then you'll still be proven wrong when you don't win the Champions League next year.
Bruh, if you win the Champions League, I will order a Forest jersey for me, LB, and Hussam. I'll ship it to them, and we'll all wear it on stream here. If you win the Champions League next season,
Yes.
there you go.
All right, okay.
And we will say we don't know football. Wolfie knows everything about football. There you go.
Yeah,
Man,
completely.
imagine, inshallah, ya Allah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna happen. Anyway, there's a bigger chance of me dating Megan Fox. Let me read these super chats before we move on to the
Just
Arsenal.
Hussam, yeah, Ashraf, yeah. Just remember this conversation that we've had. Yeah?
I remember it forever.
Because
Yeah,
I promise
100%.
you, yeah,
I won't forget.
next year when we're doing the shows and that, and they get beat off fucking Steaua Bucharest in the league phase, we will be there. We will
Yeah.
be there.
We will be
And the
there.
good thing is, this show is on a Thursday, so it could be a day after they play in the
Yeah.
UCL as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
Yeah.
be
When
That's
Morgan
what-
Gibbs White comes out and says, like Cunha, I want to compete for trophies and starts going to other clubs and gets bids and leaves, we will be there.
We
Yeah.
will be there.
When
Unfortunately,
We
he
will be
signed
there.
a
All
new
three of us,
contract,
we
but
will
he'll
be there.
we will be
The
there.
chat will be there. We'll all be there. As he drinks his can of drink, crying, wishing that he would have never
Aldi.
said this.
Aldi, mate. Aldi.
ZX Cola.
Yeah.
Nice. Come on.
Sugar free.
Anyway, big up to RSV, who actually brings up a good point. He says the way Nottingham Forest are playing won't get them top 5 every year. The football is not good and smells Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 2021-2023, which came crashing down in the long run.
Well, I'm not
You-
Man
you know,
United.
I got to
so-
say this as well, yeah, on this point that RSV makes, right? Is it will be interesting to see what happens next year because teams will start to respect Forest even more and make it more difficult for Forest, which happens to all
Yeah.
these teams.
So why didn't they start to do that like at November time?
Because that's for some reason managers don't do that. It's the same when Leicester won the league. And everyone played the same way for Leicester that season. They won the league, and then the next year everyone went right. Leicester are champions. Let's sit back and respect them. And then bang, they just really struggled. I don't know why managers don't respect teams during the season. They're always like,
weird,
"We'll
yeah.
be the ones. We'll be the ones." But I reckon next year you don't get top 6.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but
Same.
you thought
Seriously.
that about 4 weeks ago on your
No,
channel.
no, I
when you
didn't.
did a
No, I
stream.
didn't. I didn't think you
did,
get top.
you did,
No, that's not true.
you did.
No.
I thought you don't get top 4, and
Wolfie,
maybe
that was like
I'm
2
kind of
out of
changing it a
10
little
rage
bit.
bait. That's 2 out of 10 rage bait.
Yeah,
I give
because
that 2
we've
out
done this before last week. me and
Yeah,
LB,
2 out
so-
of 10 rage bait. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Wolfie, this mentality is there is make up to Braids Myth, who says, Wolfie, this is the reason why you will not get top 4. The clumbering starts this weekend against Villa. Forest will come 6th. Mark my words.
Oh, if that happens,
What
that's
an
bad.
idiot. 93.3% chance, man. There's more chance. There's more chance of you growing a brain, bro, than that happening.
Apologies, Braids Myth. I don't know why he insulted you like that. I hope what you're saying happens, though. Not because I hate Forest. I don't hate Forest at all. Just because
for
I
the
know
content.
Wolfie. Yeah,
Wolfie just
just
knows he's
because-
holding a gigantic L. That's the
Yes.
situation.
And you know what I'm gonna do that Thursday if that happens? I will make the show like 12 p.m. I'll make it noon, so we can just deep fry this guy for 4 hours straight, bro. Craig Lee, back again. Big up, Craig. Thank you for the super chat. Forest owner has shown his ambition. I expect more of the same. I wouldn't be so quick to write them off. He broke FFP for a leg up. That shows intent, is what Craig Lee is saying.
But
We
have we wrote
agree
him
with
off?
that.
Though? We've not wrote him off. What we're saying
Yeah.
is they're probably not going to win the Champions League next year.
And that's
So
probably
why-
not. Not definitely not.
I think definitely.
I would give you a
Definitely not.
99.9999999%
You're
chance.
saying
of
there's a
not winning it.
chance.
No, not really. I think statistically, that's actually not you not get a chance.
LB, when you speak to Wolfie, you just have to stoop down to his level. Just say definitely not, and that's it.
Definitely not. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Happy now? All 3 of us said definitely.
I
not.
just want to
You
make
know what?
sure, LB's making receipts and stuff. I want to make sure things that are on the
Oh,
record
wow.
are clear.
This is a receipt I'm never gonna use in my life. That's like when I buy, a carton of milk. Why the fuck will I need the receipt? I'm gonna use this in 3 days anyway. So who gives a shit? That's like when I buy a can of a drink. I want to drink in 30 minutes. Why I need receipt? It's
You're
gonna be in my
need a
stomach.
receipt because the expiry on this is 12 months.
Allah wali as-sabirin. You don't rate Arteta, but you rate Emery, Wolfie? Yes, he does, and he's the same guy that brings up all the non-major trophies that Emery won, like the Europa Leagues and the FA Cup and all that. Yeah, go on.
He didn't win an
Go
FA
on.
Cup. That's the thing.
Go on.
His
Copa del
team
Rey,
did.
sorry. Go on. Go on. What? He's asking a question. This guy from
Yes.
Singapore watching.
Yes is the
So
answer.
why do you rate Emery? He doesn't have majors.
He didn't ask why. He'd have to pay another super chat for the why.
No, I'm asking you why. I'm on a panel. Big up AMT. He's a frequent super chatter. Yeah. Why do you rate
big
Emery over Arteta?
Because it's easier to talk about why Arteta's shit, isn't it?
No, but
Arteta
why is
bottles
Emery better
leagues.
than Emery?
Arteta couldn't win an FA Cup without Emery's squad.
Neither could Emery. Neither could Emery. There you go. Same thing applies. Continue.
Okay, so this is whether you like it or not. This is a subjective opinion. And if I want to rate Emery,
It's okay
This
to
how
have
I
a
know
subjective
Wolfie has
opinion.
been
I would.
It's okay to have a
today.
It's okay to have a subjective opinion as long as you're backing it with some logic. You're backing it with emotional responses.
how's it emotional?
Emery's
Has
better.
Arteta
Emery's
bottled the
better
league?
because I don't like Arteta's face. Because I don't
I
like
haven't
his
said
hair.
that. I literally said Arteta's bottled the league in the last
Emery
now.
could never. And Emery could never put his team in a position to bottle anything. The Emery bottled a 4-0 lead against Barcelona.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Premier League.
Biggest
I'm talking
bottle
about
job-
what
Ever
I'm
biggest
seeing here.
job in Champions League
biggest
I'm
history.
bottle
talking
job in
about
football
how
history.
Emery, with a
4-0
with
up,
a
you
lesser
lose 6-1.
squad than Arteta, is just as far as he is in the Champions League and has more chance.
That's not
More
true.
chance
Emery
of
had
going further than
that's not
Arteta
true.
does.
Emery had Granit Xhaka, Aubameyang, who was top
I'm
scorer of the
talking
league
now.
at the time.
I'm talking now.
No, but when he was with Arsenal, we were favourites to finish top 4 with 3 games left, and he bottled it. He lost I think he lost 2 games and drew 1, and we ended up finishing 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Do you
They
think
were favourites.
Arteta's better?
When we were favourites to finish top 4.
Wait,
We were
so you think
favourites.
Arteta is better?
Yes, I think Arteta now is
On
better
what,
than
on
Emery.
what logic?
Because I've seen what Arteta is able. I've seen both of them in big teams. I know Arteta is a small sample size because it's only one club, but Arteta has been able to take a very shit team that was 10th when he came and get them to challenge. I don't think the season counts, even though we're finishing second. Challenge 2 seasons and finished second 3 seasons. Emery was with PSG and has nothing but failure painted there. Where not only did he lose 1 league title, by the way, to Monaco, but he also bottled the biggest lead, like the biggest bottle job in Champions League history. And when he came to Arsenal, he started off good. 22 games unbeaten, blah, blah, blah. Favorites to finish top 4. And then not only bottled top 4, right? And lost to Crystal Palace and lost to, I forgot, 2 other teams. And then we ended up finishing 5th. But also took us to Europa League final and got smashed 4-1 by Chelsea. So when I've seen them in big clubs, Arteta has done better than Emery.
So in summary, Arteta took you from nothing to nothing, and Emery did the same.
No, Emery also took us from nothing to nothing. So I have to compare between the 2 nothings.
I just said. So they both did the same.
Yeah.
From nothing to
So
nothing.
in the two nothings, which one showed a bit more progress, or which one did a better job?
That becomes
And
subjective.
Arteta did a better job because Arteta.
I promise
actually
everyone
did
watching
well.
right now, if Forest win the FA Cup, the biggest fraud on YouTube is going to change his energy so much.
100%. 100%.
There you go then.
I've already said I'll be shameless if we win the FA Cup.
There you go.
That's
The Forest fan base
breaking
are
news
so
there, man.
lacking humility, is what Joe Green is saying. It's not the Forest fan base. It's just Wolfie. He's driving Forest PR. He's doing the Professor Hamza. Big up to Mantis, who says it took Klopp multiple efforts to win the Champions League with Prime Mane, Firmino, Fabinho, and Forest are going to win the Champions League on their first attempt. Get real.
Well, this idiot
With
firstly
Elanga-
doesn't
with
know that we
Elanga and
did,
Fulham
and
Hotspur going.
secondly, Forest doesn't have 2 R's in it. So, I mean, if you can't spell Forest,
He
then I
never.
feel
Wait. I'm going to defend Mantis. He never said you didn't win it before. He didn't say you're going to win your first Champions League. He said you're going to win the Champions League on your first attempt, basically, because when you won
exactly.
before,
So he doesn't even know we
what
won
you
it
won
then. By
before
that
is called a
logic,
European Cup. It wasn't called Champions League.
It's technically a different competition.
Yeah.
is it? Though?
Well, it's
Different
completely
rules.
different.
Different rules as well.
So
format.
Hussein, how many have you won now? It's not 6 then, is it?
No, he
won
has
6.
European trophies. He has 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, خلاص.
Correct.
But Champions
but-
League, he has.
But how many
right?
Champions League has
See,
won?
the labels. So we're going to do how many Barclays Premierships have Man City?
Well, yeah.
won?
No, that's
How
what
many
people can
Premier
do.
Leagues versus how many?
How many
English
Premier
leagues,
Leagues? How many like league titles? have
English-
You know, why are we
Yeah,
stopping there?
it's
Why are we
fine.
not going to go Barclays Premierships? Why are we not going to go Carling Premierships?
No, I
Because-
actually agree with Wolfie.
that-
I actually agree
No,
with
no,
Wolfie
no,
on
no.
this one.
No, that's
The
No,
change
guys,
of
no,
name
for
doesn't make the
tournament,
different
bro.
Exactly.
competition.
No,
Exactly.
Sam, we're not downplaying what trophy. That's why we say who's got the
Not
most
a
European
downplay,
trophies,
mate. Yeah,
right?
It's a completely
But-
different trophy,
what-
mate.
Where did Wolfie go?
What's going on
Wolfie
here?
got
I have
pissed
no
off and
idea.
just left.
Anyway,
Wolfie just got pissed off and left. He's like, how dare they shit on my
It's a
Champions League?
completely different trophy. The European Cup back in the day was a completely different trophy to this.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a completely
Yes, it
different
was.
competition.
That's
was a
like,
different
say, all
format.
right, so is the Champions League this season the same as the Champions League last season?
No.
No.
so is it a different trophy?
So is it a different trophy?
No, but
The
no.
trophy
But you guys are
level,
missing. It's still a European trophy. That's
It's
what we're
still a
saying.
European trophy, but it's
Fucking
not the
hell.
same
I've
Liverpool
never seen
have
a stream with so much
European
semantics debated in
It's
my
not
life. man.
semantics, man.
So the
Winning
Champions League this year is different.
Okay.
It's a different competition to the one last year. Is what it's saying. Different trophy, different everything.
format.
yeah?
Different
It's a
format. Different format.
It's a different competition.
Yeah.
It's
Ah,
not the same name.
formats.
Yeah.
Same trophy
Yes.
though, yeah.
Listen,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't lie to you.
yeah.
I agree completely with Wolfie on this one. I'll tell you why. If you apply that logic to every single trophy, when the name changed or when the structure changed,
Not the
you're gonna
name.
be
No,
wrong.
no.
Not the
Don't
name,
do that.
just
Because
Say
the
that.
Premier League was officially called the Premier League in 2017. So Man
No,
United
we're
have
not.
zero
No, we're not
Premier
talking
League.
about the name.
Sam, you're
We're not
missing the
talking
point.
about the name.
And I know
Arsenal
why
have zero
Sam is missing
Premier
the
League.
point. I know he's doing it on
Yeah.
purpose. I know
You
why.
see what
because
you're
he's
doing?
The
scared.
only
Yeah.
club
I'm
to ever
scared
win the Premier
people are
League
gonna
is
say-
Liverpool and City.
I'll tell you why Hussam is doing this. Hussam
Because
is
Man
scared.
United won the Barclay Card Premier
No,
League.
no.
And the
I'll tell you
Premiership-
what's happening.
Premier League.
I'll tell you what's happening.
Also,
Hussam,
one second. LB, you never won the Carling Cup. You won the Carabao Cup. I won the Carling Cup and
So,
the
so what's
Carabao Cup.
hilarious here is
And the Milk Cup and
So
the
you know what's
Coca-Cola
hilarious?
Cup.
That's why we said League Cup. That's
neither
why we said
me
League
or
Cup.
Ashraf said that. We actually excluded
Exactly.
the exact same thing that you're going on about. We're not
Exactly.
talking about name changes. We're talking about different competitions through format changes.
So again, this new Champions League only counts from this year
What do you mean only counts? What do you
because
mean
the
only
format
counts?
changed this year, did it not?
Format, not
So
name.
what do you mean only count? What do you mean only counts?
As
What you're
in,
trying
it's
to
a
say?
what does
separate
that- yeah, what does
competition
only
from
count
this
mean?
year.
Well,
It's a different
not
competition.
It's a yeah, it's not the same competition as last year. That
But
ended
you
last
still
year.
win
So
a
you're now
European trophy.
segregating from when it was the European
A
Cup to
major
Champions
European
League, from Champions League to this, and then from this year it's a different competition because the
It's a
format
different-
changed.
It's a different competition to last year's Champions League. Yes.
Yeah.
So
But if Liverpool win it,
Real win
if
it,
Liverpool
they're
were to
the
win it, they
first
would have
winners
7.
of this format,
this new
and that's
format,
how it
yes.
goes down. Yeah,
But-
this
but-
is disastrous.
But
Yeah.
they would
man.
have 16 Champions League, 16 European Cups in total.
Well,
Yeah.
they
You
have a
know,
little
you
asterisk
just said
by
it
this one.
yourself. You just said it
honestly.
yourself. That's a slip. That's a Freudian slip.
What
Why?
did he say?
Yeah,
because you just
Habibi,
said-
it was a simple.
you just
no,
said
no, no.
Real Madrid have 16 Champions Leagues because at the end of
Yes.
the day, the competition is the competition.
That's
And-
because
Right.
no,
Hussam,
man.
wallahi, guys, let me explain to you what's happening with
Hussam,
Hussam.
Prime
Hussam
example
Hussam
is FA Cup.
Hussam has
Was the
PTSD.
format
Let me
of the
land.
FA Cup in
Let me land.
1872
Please,
the
let me land
same as
because you know
today?
where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this. That's why.
Oh,
Let me
these
land.
guys are
Hussam,
rattled. Wolfie, I can't lie.
Hussam has PTSD, and
Wolfie,
Hussam knows
we
what
got
I'm
it.
going to say.
We got it.
Hussam knows what I'm going to say. That's why he's trying to cut me off. The reality
Go
is,
ahead.
Hussam has PTSD because he sits and argues with so many United fans who try to educate him and school him and say, we have 13, you only have 1. I'm not doing that. I think that's a stupid argument. I think you have 19 and they have 20. But Hussam has so much PTSD that he knows if he changes his argument or if he accepts what LB and I are saying now, he's going to go like, yeah, but that means all United fans were all right when they were arguing with me. The reality is you have 19. You want to call them Premier Leagues, you have 19 Premier Leagues, Zella. But the point is, the format changed, which is why we're trying to say when I'm only defending AMT. Was it AMT? By the way, who sent a super chat, or am I? Maybe it was not
No,
AMT.
it wasn't AMT. It was someone else.
Yeah,
But
whoever
anyway.
sent a super chat was saying you're gonna win the Champions League from your first attempt. They were referring to you getting back to it. It's your first
That's
attempt
not
at
what they
winning.
were
this
doing. They were
Champions
doing
League.
your slip as well.
Well, that's what they were doing.
I guarantee you, no one in the
Ashraf,
world,
it's not
including
about
my grandmother.
PTSD. Let me
My
respond to you. Let me
grandmother is
respond to
dead.
you.
My grandmother is dead. If I wake her up from the grave
Allah
right now and tell
yarhamha.
her, if I wake up from the grave right now and tell her, hey, do you know Forest have 2 Champions Leagues? She'll tell me Wolfie has balked about it so much. Yes, I know they have 2 stars. 2 stars.
Yeah,
Trust me.
facts,
Everyone who
man.
watches the show know you have it. So
Again, more
nobody has-
deflection. I like what you're trying to do here.
Okay, but let me just say this: the FA Cup and the Carling Cup and the league and the Champions League don't all have the same format since the trophy started. The formats have changed from the beginning. And even the old European Cup format, it wasn't the same because for the first 5-6 years, it was an invitational. And then after that, it became the champion of 5-6 countries. And then it became the champion of 10 countries. And then it became the champion of 12 countries. I'm not going to create a useless separation. There's a reason why those Man United bums go to Old Trafford and sing 20 times. Why don't they sing 13 times, Man United? Why don't they do that?
7.
Just remember, this debate started, because Wolfie, tried to out that
Deflection.
super chatter, by saying that he didn't know that you've already got 2 Champions Leagues.
And I was correct to point that out.
No, you weren't.
So hold on. When the Premier League or Premiership back then had 22 teams, does that count different as well? Because there's more teams.
Well, for me, it depends on how big the change is.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, LB, you're waffling now. Also, if you go to Mark's stats website, Forest stats about low defensive lines, etc., is similar to Oli in 2020, 2021, and Ten Hag 2022, 2023.
Thanks.
So basically, you've got Ten Hag as manager.
That's crazy.
So basically, you're gonna finish 8th or 6th the next season because that's what happened to them.
Because that's how football works. Yes. Thank you, RSV, for that stat. I will now go put money on it next season.
Do not
I'm late.
gamble.
Haram.
Don't gamble. You just finished fasting Ramadan.
Yeah,
Have some
stuff
shame.
like that.
Promoting gambling on my stream. Who has a better chance winning the Champions League, Aston Villa or Forest? Aston Villa.
Well, Aston Villa are in it this season, and we're not, so Aston Villa.
Okay,
Even
fine.
next season.
Aston Villa this season or Forest next season?
Aston Villa.
Well, Forest
Yeah.
next season, because
Aston
Aston Villa, as things stand, wouldn't be in it next season. You getting some dumb super chats, bro. I gotta say.
What did you hear a question? Are you listening?
What was the answer, Bray?
We said Aston Villa this season or Forest next season. Which team
Okay,
has
so
better
you're
chance of winning?
separating that. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say Aston Villa this season.
Good.
Oh, wow. He actually made the logical
Objective.
response.
That's crazy.
In Wolfie's defense, Champions League matches are a better spectacle. The prestige
That's
of competing in the Champions League hits different. Yeah, Habibi, we all
That's
agree.
true.
Livs cried when he sang the Champions League song at Emirates. We get it. The thing is different. We understand. But if you're a Forest fan and you ain't seen a trophy in 40 fucking years, you better choose winning that FA Cup. And the thing is, the reason why Wolfie is a fraudulent human being is because you don't have to choose, because you can have both, because you're 93%.
And by the way, I saw
That's what
Wolfie say
said,
this on
and
another.
You guys are
I saw
completely
Wolfie
missing that point.
Wolfie said this on another channel. I can't remember where. He was mocking one team. I can't remember which team. He was mocking a team for celebrating like a League Cup or FA Cup, doing an open bus parade. I guarantee you, Newcastle. I guarantee you, if Forest win the FA Cup, they do an
100%
open
Forest are doing a parade. 100%.
100%.
Million
Of course,
percent
I'm
they're
going to
doing
be
a parade.
shameless. You guys act so surprised with these things. It's just
Can
embarrassing.
I ask you a
Like,
question?
what's gonna be shameless?
Would you do a parade if you qualified for the Champions League?
A parade? I don't know. Maybe.
Just
We
because
did
you're
one
saying it's
for
better
getting
than
back
winning
to
a
the
trophy,
Premier
innit?
League.
So I'm just wondering if you'd do a.
That's a good
The year Forest won the European Cup was the same year Steven Gerrard was born. Have some humility and sit in your corner, is what meant.
Okay, so it must not have happened then. Oh, wait, it did happen.
What?
Wolfie, I can't lie to you. This is your worst ever performance. On
This
the
is.
Yeah, it
This
was.
is
It was
this is Emmanuel
This
Aboué under
this-
Wenger, subbed off appearance.
exactly.
Yes.
This was
Can't lie.
no. I'll give you a better context, guys. This was Forest versus Bournemouth, a 5-0 result from a month ago.
Ooh, he went there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you went
Bournemouth.
there.
This was
Oh,
the
that's
5-0 performance.
Oh,
In the
no.
back, right
You
there.
just triggered him.
That's
That means
the
next
club
week I'll
that's-
be 7-0 because we beat Brighton 7-0 the week after.
You just triggered him, bro.
Fair.
Both
but
if
I got-
Forest
I got
and
jump on
Villa
this call.
qualify next season, who has a bigger chance of winning? Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston Villa.
Ask me after the transfer window.
when they
Cop-out
lose
answer.
Morgan Gibbs White.
Cop-out answer.
And it
Very,
when
very
Morgan
I gotta
Gibbs
jump
White
on
leaves.
this Khara film.
Typical cop out answer. Anyway,
Okay.
before we move on to talk about Arsenal, big up everyone locked in. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. All these guys' channels is in the description. Please do go give them a subscribe. Wolfie has to leave now, so the quality of the show is going to rise. Big up to you, Wolfie. Forest Fan TV is in the
Much love,
description.
brother. See you later. Salam.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, we are back. We're going to talk about Arsenal now in a second. 550 people in here. Can we just get 200 likes? I'm not asking for much. Just 200 likes. Big up, the two mods who are actually in the chat. Big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are pushing the like button and stuff like this. So let's talk about Arsenal. Win against Fulham. Saka is back. Pray for Madrid. Your thoughts on Arsenal this week, Ashraf?
Yeah. They don't. It's not Hala Madrid. It's Wahala for Madrid, man. Saka's back. Things are gonna be different, but nah. It's Look, it was a good one. I know people will see 2-1. Those who didn't watch the game and will probably be like, "Oh, it was such a tight game, and you guys had a narrow win." We didn't, to be honest. We were.
It was a
by far
tight game at the end when Muniz missed that point blank
Nah.
header. Have some fun.
And it was only towards the end. The 95% of that match was us just like dominating. They were sitting back. And by the way, I don't know why Fulham do that, because the reality is, I think they have such good attacking players, or at least they have showed good attacking prowess this season. I think if they actually came at us, it would have been a much more difficult game. And I don't think, I know Saka is back, but I don't think our attack is an attack they had to worry so much about killing them on counterattacks or in an open game. So I think it would have probably better suited them if they came and attacked us a bit more. But yeah, look, I think we played well for majority of the game. I mean, obviously, Waneri got another assist. I think I read this stat where him and Yamal, I think, are the only teenagers or maybe the youngest players to have like double-digit GA contribution. So it's pretty good. He's been doing really well, to be honest. I still don't think his future is. Sorry.
We're comparing Nwaneri to Yamal now.
I said the stats said these are the two youngest. Where did I compare? Yeah, Habibi. You don't want to know my opinion on Yamal. You won't like it. Or actually, you might like it because I think you like Barcelona. But yeah, look, he's done really well. I still don't think his long term is right wing. I still think his long term is as a 10 because that's his original position. I think he can do well there. But yeah, he ended up having a good performance. Odegaard started slow, but then picked it up, especially in the second half, and even more when Saka came in. So kind of like it justifies.
You
what
actually
other
think
people were
Saka
saying.
played well, honestly?
I think he did okay in some moments. I think a couple of times he got the ball and he played the good pass, or he did a cut in and crossed it well and moved the ball quickly. And when he played the pass, he ran in.
Facts. Fans are really angry at me because I said I don't think Saka had a good game because he actually lost the ball quite a few times. And they're saying Saka stole the show. I actually thought Moreno was man of the match. I thought Martinelli.
I didn't say Saka stole the show.
No, I'm
Saka
saying
might
they
have
were-
stole the. Yeah, Saka might have stole the show because of his comeback, like after 3 months, scoring on his first game, like coming off the bench. I think that is maybe why people would say he stole the show, but I don't think like he was the best player on the pitch. Obviously not. And even when he came on, you say he lost the ball, but I don't remember him losing it. I remember him losing it twice or thrice. I'm actually looking at it here. So possession lost twice. I don't know where you're getting like many times from. It was only twice. And I remember the 2 times as well. One was the first time when he got the ball and played the 1-2 and then he got it back and it went out. I know he missed it. And there was another time where I think he tried to play a pass that got intercepted, if I'm not wrong. Or he tried to dribble and it got intercepted by Robinson. So I think he did okay. Like for his first match in 3 months, I think he did quite well. Moreno obviously getting a goal, even though it was a flukish goal, but it still counts. Obviously, their goal was flukish. Their goal was deflection as well. Our midfield was fantastic. Partey was fantastic. Overall, good result for sure. Not that it matters. I think we're definitely secure in second spot. So I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. I think we'll comfortably get second. But it's good to see that him coming back is obviously gonna hopefully give us some sort of boost. The last thing I'll say about the attack is, Martinelli, one of the best games I've seen, at least over the last 1 year, one of the best games I've seen of him. Was dribbling when he needed to, amazing assist with the back heel. Had a couple of moments when he was dribbling and I was like, oh my god, this dribbling Martinelli is what we saw 2 seasons ago, and I don't know why he wasn't doing it all this while. So again, not sure what got into him. I think maybe playing on the right all this while and now playing on his actual best position, or what is perceived to be his best position on the left, maybe kind of inspired him a little bit or lit up something.
I'm gonna ask you the $1 million question.
Yeah, and then
Gabriel-
we come to the crap of Aubrey Gabriel.
Yes,
that
now you have.
disgusting
What do you think about that?
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate. I don't blame anyone for it. I see people blaming Arteta or some people saying, what is he doing? That's absolute BS. I don't know why people are saying that crap. We're not the only team to have hamstring injuries. I know we've had 4 or 5, 4. And many clubs have had hamstring injuries. So it's not just us. It is pretty unfortunate. There's nothing we can do about it. The reality is the defense is the one position in our team where we should have enough depth to try and at least minimize the damage that could be caused there. However, to be honest, no matter what kind of depth we have, Gabriel, in my opinion, is not only one of the best defenders in the league, he's one of the best defenders in the world. So losing him will obviously have an impact on our team. But I do think that damage will be slightly minimized if Timber is available and Ben White, obviously.
So you already thought you have a minimal chance. Now with Gabriel out, are you like?
I would say it goes down from 10% to like 6-7%. Because I never thought defense was going to be our issue. I thought our attack was going to be the problem.
Sad said yesterday 25% with Gabriel, 10% without.
Assad is waffling because we did a stream together where he himself said 15 or 20%. So I don't know where he got 25%. He's increasing it inch by inch every single time. And this was before Gabriel got injured, and this was when he thought Saka will be back that time. But pick up Sad. I don't think we had 25%, bro. Even with Gabriel there, I think the best chance we had was like, if you want to be optimistic, is like 15%. Because the reality is there is a difference, a big difference in quality. I would say we're much better than them defensively, or at least better than them defensively for sure. I would probably take our entire back 4 over Real Madrid's.
Absolute shame and respect, Rudiger. Respect, Rudiger.
Calm down. Saliba and Gabriel have been better. But
no, they haven't.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Gabriel has been over Saliba. Not Saliba.
Quoting Real Madrid from Champions League games you watch against Atletico Madrid. I've watched him in La Liga where he gets killed and destroyed and has open spaces where teams end up scoring. Let's stop that BS. He's not been that great this season. I don't know why people are getting this crap.
What about that Asensio fella? Because he was fucking sick.
Asensio's amazing this year. Bro, this guy's going to have a bright future. No, because I think Saliba and Gabriel are both better than him.
Saliba's been pretty stinky this year, man.
No, he hasn't been. He's had 2 or 3.
Saliba has been actually really bad this year.
Asensio has had mistakes. Guys, Asensio has had mistakes. If you don't watch every La Liga game of Madrid, stop commenting. If you're only watching Atletico Madrid games, you saw him make a tackle on Julian Alvarez. Asensio.
It's all right for Saliba to have mistakes, but Asensio and Rudiger, it's not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I said
that'll be perfect.
I'm saying, guys, I'm going to repeat my sentence.
Saliba made mistakes against Fulham, but Fulham didn't capitalize.
Asensio has been really good. Saliba has been really good. Yes, Saliba has made mistakes. Asensio has made mistakes. But in this season, currently, today, Saliba is a better defender than Asensio. Why is that such a debate? I don't understand why you guys are trying to be edgy.
Yeah, but you're missing the point. You're saying, here, even Arsenal fans are saying Saliba this season underperforming. He has been shaky, but not really bad.
Underperforming by his great standard.
One second, Ashraf, you're getting rattled for no reason. Here's the thing with this Saliba.
You're being edgy for no reason.
Saliba has been, last season, consensus your best defender.
Yes.
This season, Gabriel.
No, he's been the best defender in the league, not our best defender.
Okay, هدي أعصابك. Gabriel this season. Gabriel this season has been Arsenal's best defender. And one of the reasons is Saliba being shaky. So when I say Rudiger gets into the team, or Asensio
that's not one of the reasons.
That's not an edgy take.
The reason Gabriel has been our best defender this season is not because Saliba was shaky, it's because Gabriel.
Gabriel is amazing this season, and that's not what I'm saying. Don't respond to something I didn't say. I'm saying Saliba this year compared to last year has dropped off, and that's why he doesn't get into the combine.
Why do you say I'm quoting you. You just said verbatim, Gabriel has been amazing this season, and one of the reasons why he's being the best is because Saliba has been shaky. You said that. So you're saying
bro. So who's your right back? Who's your left back? Yeah,
Timber and I think Lewis Kelly. I don't think Mendy is that great. Mendy plays for them because they don't have
goalkeeper Courtois, of course.
Of course, Courtois. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so what's your midfield then?
I'd say Thomas Partey. Is Valverde injured? I heard he's injured, but let's assume he's there. I'd say Valverde. Based on this season, I'd say Valverde, Partey, and Bellingham. Because Tchouaméni has played a lot of games as centre back, and he's had a lot of errors, to be honest. Kamavinga has given penalties. He's given away stupid fouls. I think he got red. I could be wrong. It's either him or Tchouaméni. One of them got a red card in a certain game that cost them. They haven't been that great this season. Partey has actually been fantastic.
Right, what's your attack?
And then front three is obviously their entire front three, because I don't know how Saka is going to be. Like, I think if I had to take Saka versus Rodrigo based on this season, I'd probably edge it to Saka. But obviously, being out for 3 months, I think I'd put Rodrigo there.
Yeah. And the fact that Rodrigo's just clear of Saka obviously helps.
He's not clear of Saka. How could a winger be clear of another winger? Yeah, how could a winger? Wait, 1 second. How could a
Rodrigo
player be
is clear of Saka, bro?
How could a winger,
LB,
guys?
sometimes you're so full of shit. Rodrigo's not clear of
Full of
Saka.
shit,
Stop.
honestly. By the way, if you said Rodrigo,
I am not taking the piss at all. Ashraf, wait.
You're telling me
Because
Rodrigo's not clear of Saka?
You're the wrong messenger because you're the Arsenal fan. Let me tell you, Saka is better than Rodrigo. If I had the chance,
oh my god! I
here
can't
you go.
believe you just
Yeah,
said-
go ahead.
Nah,
Go to Hamza. Go to Hamza in the
nah.
other room since you're in his house
No
and you're
way,
lagging out of
mate.
the frame.
Because
Nah.
How about
you're
you be
waffling
professional,
like
mate? How
You're
about you
waffling
be
like
professional? Leave Hamza's house and come back and give real LB. Here's the thing with this Rodrigo thing, okay? But you're still gonna lose the frame
No, I
anyway.
can't believe this.
Just with the normal background.
I can't
So now,
believe you just said that.
yeah, Habibi, some people have.
Saka is not better than Rodrigo.
Can I talk?
No, I'm not
First of
really.
all-
no.
first of all,
I'm sick.
If
I
we're
feel
doing
sick.
combined 11 based on form, Vinicius has been fucking shit this season.
but
no
he's been
one
better
can
than the
tell
other
me-
wingers.
No one can tell me Vinicius is being good this season. Number one. Number two with Rodrigo. Saka has consistently been doing it in a defensive style for Arteta and has been their main guy.
What does that
Rodrigo
mean?
Rodrigo is a big game player, but doesn't do it over a consistent
Bro,
basis.
Rodrigo's evil, man.
This guy is
Just
just
because he
talking
scored 2
from
goals
trauma.
against you 2 seasons ago and knocked you out, and scored against you
No,
last
man,
season,
yeah.
doesn't mean he's
that,
better than
man.
Saka.
Rodrigo's
I know
a-
PTSD is there, but like, calm
Rodrigo
down.
is so clear of Saka. I can't believe I'm hearing this.
But okay,
No, he's
answer a
not.
question. Can I ask you a
He
question,
is.
LB? Can I ask-
Saka would be so
LB,
much better at Madrid.
So you'd
Sam,
rather
Sam,
have,
one sec,
you'd
one
rather have
sec,
Saka at
Sam, one
Liverpool
sec.
than Rodrigo. If Salah
Yes,
was
if
there.
you tell me Salah replacement, I'm taking Saka.
That's crazy.
That's not
LB
crazy
question.
at all. Wow,
It's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
One sec, Sam, please. I wanna hear LB's answer to this. LB, when you compare 2 attackers, especially 2 wingers, do you not think stats matter, or do you think it's irrelevant? Stats should not even
If
be
you-
considered.
No, you don't just go off stats, mate. Yeah, Rodrigo is a better player than Saka. I don't need stats.
So why does
to look at.
Saka outscore him and have more assists than him?
Don't care, mate. Don't care.
What do you mean? It's all. I'm not saying Saka is doing it in freaking the Greece league or the Russian league. He's doing it in the Premier League and the Champions
Mate,
League.
Kevin Phillips scored 30 odd Premier League goals in 1994 or something like that, mate. Is he a better
No.
striker?
At that time, he
than
was
that? No.
Saka
Is he
was
better
doing.
than everyone? No.
You know why that's a
not
false
doing this.
tendency? Because Saka is doing it every single season for the last 3-4 seasons.
It's
There's a
irrelevant. It's
I mean,
irrelevant.
it's
He's not
not
a better
getting
player.
better.
It's not a better player. It's not a better player than Rodrigo.
But that's okay if you're. I would have no issues if you said.
Wait, do you
I-
think Salah is better than Rodrigo?
No.
Oh
there you go.
my
There you go.
god!
So LB is one of those eye test
my God,
merchants.
This is the worst.
LB
thing.
is one of those eye test
He's not
merchants.
a better football player
plays-
than Rodrigo, mate.
That means Alan
Yes,
Sam
he
Maxima
is.
for him is better than
He's
Saka. I
not
guess.
a better football player than him.
Salah is a better goal scorer and a better playmaker. Only thing Rodrigo has
He
over
might
Salah
score
is
more-
dribbling.
He's not a better football player than Rodrigo.
The only thing that Rodrigo has over Salah is literally dribbling and nothing else.
Bro, he's just
That's
a better player, mate. He's a better player.
No, but you can't just say better player and then just go do this.
No, I
and say
can't. I
better
can't say
player,
he's a
mate.
better player.
Yeah,
I
what
can't
is
say he's a better
Rodrigo
player.
better than
What's
Saka?
what's
He's
Rodrigo
a
better than
football
Salah?
player, man. I'm not going to go through the stats like we're on FIFA yet. He's
No,
a
I
better
didn't. I'm not
football
asking you
player
stats.
than
I'm not
Salah.
asking
He's
you
Yeah,
a
we're
better
not asking you
football
stats.
player than Saka.
I'm asking
Give us your eye
attribute.
test. Yeah, give us the
Yeah, eye
attribute.
test.
Almost everything.
No, like
So you
what?
think
Name it.
so? Rodrigo's a better goal scorer than
He's
Salah.
faster than him. He's better on the ball, dribbling than him. He's more direct than him. He's more
direct.
versatile than him.
More
How is he
direct.
more direct than Salah?
Bro, he's better than him. He's just a better football player than him.
You're waffling
He's
so
the most
badly.
ridiculous
right
I'm not
now.
ridiculous.
waffling. I'm not waffling.
The
Rodrigo is an
amount of
unbelievable football
waffle
player. And
I
for you
I
just
to
thought the
heard
sit
quality
there
of the show will
and
go up
tell
and will
me
left.
that
LB brought
Saka
it
is a
down.
better football player than Rodrigo is a
Yes,
shambles.
he is.
It's
Because
a
the reality is,
shambles.
the reality is
The fact
LB.
that you
unlike
said Rodrigo is better than Salah shows
He is
me
better
that
than
in your
Salah.
mind.
He is better
No,
than
no, he's
Salah.
not. No,
Yeah,
he's
he
not.
is.
No.
The
He
reality
better than
is,
Salah.
LB.
The only here's the thing.
Unfortunately,
Even if you
he's
don't want to
better than
mention
Salah.
stats, forget stats. Salah is a better playmaker than Rodrigo. Salah is a better goal scorer than Rodrigo. Salah is better at creating chances than Rodrigo. Salah is better in the
He's
final
not better
third
he's not
than
better than
Rodrigo in
Rodrigo.
every single aspect.
He's not better than
The
Rodrigo.
thing is, what you're doing
It
is
is PTSD, honestly.
thing with
It's
Rodrigo is a big game player and is a better dribbler.
That's
He's
it.
a better.
That's
He's
it.
just a better.
The only
footballer.
thing that Rodrigo does better than Salah on the football
So
pitch
Salah
is
might
dribbling.
score more goals. So might Saka. They're not better than him.
I didn't mention goals alone. Though.
But
Who's the
LB, I think
better playmaker, Rodrigo or Salah?
He's a better player than him.
So forget assists. Salah has the most big chances created in the league. That's not assists.
It doesn't. That is literally nothing. I don't care about that. Innit?
So you're
That's
just gonna
nothing.
walk.
That's
No,
nothing.
it's irrelevant
I
to
think
me. I'm still not
I think
taking Salah
LB
over Rodrigo.
LB looks at football as it's like futsal. You know, who looks better on the eye. It doesn't matter if you're doing
He's
your
a better
job.
player than
For
him,
example,
bro.
that means by that logic.
Oh, Haaland is not even a top 10 striker in
Yeah,
the world.
Kai Havertz is better than Haaland because Kai Havertz can dribble better than Haaland, even though Kai Havertz.
Kai
is not
Havertz looks way better on the eye than Haaland.
He looks
does.
better on the ball than Haaland. So Kai Havertz is
No,
a better footballer than Haaland.
No.
Yes. Tell me one attribute Haaland is better than Havertz.
Argument.
No, it's
Rodrigo
the same
is
argument.
clear of both of those players.
Yeah. By that logic, Kai Havertz is clear of Haaland.
Yeah.
Different argument.
Havertz is better than Haaland.
Real Madrid,
Kane is
if you
better than
offered
Haaland.
Saka, for Rodrigo to Real Madrid, they'd be like, "What are you doing, mate? Is this some sort of joke?" They wouldn't take
I
Saka
promise
for
you,
Rodrigo.
if they had a chance to sign Saka over Rodrigo, they would take him in a heartbeat.
Oh my
Yeah,
days! No,
they
they
would.
would not.
100%.
They
Because the reality is both of them play right wing, even though I don't think Rodrigo's main position is right. I think he should be playing 10 or left. But let's take right because that's what he's playing now. Both of them play 10. What you want from your 10 is three things: goals, assists, and creating chances. That's it. There's also the fourth thing.
I want the
which
best
Saka
player
also-
for my team, and
There's,
Rodrigo's
there's,
the
there's
best player
another
for my team.
once again, LB. There's another fourth thing that some managers look at, which is they want their winger to also have the defensive quality, which I don't rate, by the way. I don't think wingers should be expected to defend that way. But even if you take that into account, Saka's also better defensively. But if you take the main three attributes, Saka scores more, Saka creates more, and Saka has more assists. Which means Saka is the better winger. I don't want my winger to go dribble one here, nutmeg here, another nutmeg here, another nutmeg here. By that logic, Neymar is a better footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think there's an argument that he might be a better footballer than him.
Oh, fuck my life.
There you go.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Because LB, I'll tell you guys why. Honestly, I'll tell you why. Genuinely,
Neymar's
LB
a
and
fucking
many
unbelievable football player. Man. What are we
LB, I
doing
rate
here?
Neymar. I think Neymar is the third greatest player of the last 20 years. But LB, like many fans out there, they don't understand that the job in football means if you have a certain position, you have to do that position to the best, to a certain level of effectiveness. So if you're a winger, I don't want you to be a winger that dances around defenders. I want you to be a winger that freaking gets me goals, assists, or chances creation. That's a good footballer. That in that case, IQ comes into play. The reason why
So do you
Cristiano
rate
is better
Luis
than
Diaz
Neymar-
then? And Doku and Savio and these guys. They can all
Diaz.
dribble.
He obviously
Yeah.
does.
I think Diaz is a terrible football player.
Diaz does everything you just mentioned. He's
Are
a
you-
dribbler
Are
and
you
he
trying
has
to say Diaz
Yeah.
is on the same level as Rodrigo?
No.
Look how he
Do you
changed the
rate
topic.
Diaz or not?
No,
Do
no,
you
Yeah,
rate
we
Diaz?
changed the topic.
I think Diaz is
Yeah, he did.
awful. I think he's well overrated. I think
Why?
he's awful.
Why? He
Who's
dribbles-
a better football?
dribbles
Who's a better footballer, Firmino or Haaland?
Wait, what are you talking about here? Are you talking about?
Yeah.
No. Are you talking about football or are you talking about
You
striker?
know, we removed Wolfie and the rage bait was supposed to go, and now you're rage baiting.
No, wait a sec. Wait a
Don't
sec.
change the
If you're
topic.
talking about-
You
if you're talking
said
about who's better
Rodrigo is a
footballer-
better footballer. I just want the better footballer, Bray. Okay, who's better footballer, Firmino or Haaland?
As a footballer, Firmino's a better player.
I'm taking Haaland because if we
I'm
had
taking
Haaland,
I'm taking Haaland because it's a striker position.
No,
On the
you
winger,
can-
I
no,
think
no,
it's
no,
different.
no,
No,
no.
Rodrigo is
So
better
what do you
than
want
Salah
from
and
your
Saka.
winger? I don't understand. What do you want from your winger?
I think he's
LB
more-
guys,
he's better,
LB
bro.
wants
He's
the better
technically
footballer.
better than these guys. He's a better football player.
Okay, Hassam, let's dig in. See how you'll dig in deep, you'll find he'll dig his own grave.
Yeah,
When
he's
if
big
he
as
said-
our grave.
Yeah, just keep asking him questions. You see how he'll contradict himself now, yeah. You said Rodrigo's better because he's technically better, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want your winger to be technically better? How does that help you? What's the
Because he fits
point?
in my team better.
Yeah, so how does he fit in your team better? What does he
How?
do when he
What do you mean? How did he fit in my team better? I'm telling you, he fits in my team better.
How?
Yeah. So
Haaland's
let's say
up front.
Rodrigo. Let's say Rodrigo's on your team right now, and
Yeah.
technically he's a lot better than everyone else, right?
Yeah.
What does the technicality help with, or that technical ability help with? What does it do?
Football. He's a better
Like to
football
do
player.
what? To do
Play
what? Like
football.
how? Okay.
Play
Okay. You
football.
play better football. You play better football. What happens then?
We win
How do you win if you don't score?
by winning matches.
How
By
do you win?
scoring goals.
How do you
By
win if you
passing the
don't?
ball.
By
Haaland.
getting assists.
By you,
Can
by
you-
working as a team.
Wait. He said it. He said it. Wait. By passing the ball to whom?
Haaland.
When you pass the ball to Haaland, then Haaland scores. What's
What
that called?
happens?
What's that called? No. What's that called?
Scoring a
When
goal.
you pass,
That's a goal.
when you pass, no. When you pass the ball to Haaland and
Yeah.
Haaland scores, what's that pass called?
If I had Haaland as a striker, I'd want Rodrigo,
Yeah.
not Saka.
Answer my question, Hassan. Please don't let him get out of this. When someone passes the ball to Haaland and
Yeah.
Haaland scores, what's that pass called?
It's called a pass.
No,
what is
it's
it
called
called?
assist. Don't lie.
It's an assist. And what?
So that means you want someone to give you assists to Haaland. Saka does that better than Rodrigo.
I want to build a team that can win, and Rodrigo would help
And
me
also
achieve
ask
that.
him
The
questions,
proof's in the
and you
pudding.
see he will dig himself a
Saka's
grave.
won nothing in
He-
5
he
years.
knew-
despite
he
scoring
knew
all
what I
these
meant.
goals.
He knew what I meant when
How
I
much
said
has
pass to
Rodrigo
Haaland.
scored? Hang on a
It's
minute.
like,
How much
all
has
the pass.
How many? So you're saying that Saka and Salah scored, but Rodrigo's won more trophies than both of these guys, probably
No,
combined.
no, it's trophies. No, it's trophies.
Because
Well, that's the aim
I'll
of the
tell you-
game is
I'll
to
tell
win
you- I'll tell
trophies.
you why.
I want
I'll
to
tell
build a
you why.
team that can win.
I'll tell you why.
So
Because
I'd rather have
Rodrigo
Rodrigo than Saka.
did something. Rodrigo did something that this guy doesn't want to count. The reason why Rodrigo helped them win the Champions League is not because he was technically so good or he
It's because
dribbled.
he scored a
It's because-
goal.
It's because there was a cross that came in from I think Modric. I can't remember.
Carvajal.
A cross- Carvajal and Rodrigo jumped and headed the ball in. It was not technical ability. It was a goal that counts.
Goal.
Rodrigo, goal, check. Right? The way Salah scored goals for Liverpool this season in big Premier League games, and it said goal, they won the league. The way Haaland scored 36 goals in the Premier League 2 seasons ago, it just said goal, Haaland, City, Premier League. That's the difference.
Yeah, but Saka don't win nothing, so the goals are irrelevant.
No, but
He's
that's not the
great,
point.
Wallah, he's great,
Of course,
leave it,
it's
leave
the
it.
point. Of course, it's the
No,
point.
no.
Wait,
I'll tell you what the point
wait,
is.
I'm building a
Firmino,
team, Hussam, to win trophies. I want to
Wallah,
win
you're not
trophies.
rich,
If I want to win
Say wallah,
trophies,
you're not
I'm
rich, Felix.
picking. Yeah, if I want to win trophies, I'm picking Rodrigo over Saka. If I want a winger who'll score 30 goals a season, maybe I will score Saka, but I won't win nothing.
okay.
No,
here's the
but
thing.
you won't win
No,
anything with
Ashraf,
Rodrigo
one
either.
second.
What do you mean I won't
Firmino,
win anything with Rodrigo?
Firmino
Don't
is Firmino
you
as
get
a
his honours list
footballer.
up? I'll get his honours
Firmino
list
as a
up, bro.
footballer is clear of Haaland. They're not even in the same stratosphere. If Liverpool had Erling Haaland playing with Salah over the last 4 years,
They would have won a
we'd have
treble.
won minimum 3 titles in 4 years. Minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
with
that-
Klopp
that's
and
the-
with
but that's
Slot.
a different position.
And
I
the
think
reason
we
why,
choose
the reason why,
for the
the reason why
striker
LB
position.
is being fraudulent, I'll tell you why LB is being fraudulent, because he wants to rage bait. He wants to make us
He does.
angry. The truth of the
does.
matter is, Rodrigo is a fantastic footballer, and technically,
Better
yes,
than
he's
both of those two
technically better than Saka. No, he's not technically better than Salah. No, he's not.
He's
because
better than both of those
technique-
two players.
No.
He's not.
Because technique is not just dribbling. Because
It's not just
when
triples, exactly.
we're
He's a
talking
better
about,
footballer than both of those two players.
but I broke down the attributes and you just say better footballer, Bray.
He's a
That's
better
not an
footballer.
attribute.
I don't know what more I can say.
Here's
What
the
is
thing.
what I
Salah
You're
is
watching
Salah is
Rodrigo.
better. Salah is a better goal
No,
scorer.
no. I'm not.
Salah
doing
is a
that.
better playmaker.
No.
Salah
I'm
is
better
more
passer.
consistent.
If you watch Salah and think he's a better football player than Rodrigo, fairs. I can't
I
see
think
that.
He
I can't
is.
see, and I can't see it with Saka either.
That's mad. That's
It's
absolute
not
mad.
that.
Guys,
You're trying to tell me
the
that if
reality is-
Arsenal offered Rodrigo a Saka swap deal. You're telling me Real Madrid would accept it?
they would. If they had the chance, they would.
They
Guys, the
wouldn't.
reality
They would
is,
not accept that deal.
people don't like admitting this. I'm not a stats merchant. I'm a both merchant. I'm a stats and eye test
Same.
merchant
I
because I
do
look at
both.
both. The reality is, people like to hide behind this because they're just so scared of their certain legends of theirs maybe getting grilled or whatever. But the reality is in today's world, especially in the last 20 years, and I think that's generally the case, you cannot have a certain player, especially in attack, and I think it applies to the midfield as well, not just in attack, but mainly in attack, that you can say is a great player or a good footballer that doesn't have good stats, because
Yeah.
your bread and butter in football is to get numbers. I'll give you another example. I'll give you an example of central midfield. You know how people are saying Pedri this season is one of the best players in the world. And they're like, and I know some people come out saying, see, Pedri is the example of why you cannot use stats, blah, 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 because he doesn't get GA. Stats doesn't just mean goals and assists. It depends on the position you play. For example, Pedri is a central midfielder. There's a stat I read in WhoScored.com just 2 days ago that said, of all central midfielders in the top 5 leagues in Europe, no central midfielder has won more possession than Pedri and has created more chances than Pedri. Those are stats that show what he's doing. So you cannot tell me there's a play that exists that plays well, is legendary.
And the best DM, by the way, we don't even need to use Pedri. The best DM in the league this season, Gravenberg, has 0 GA.
Yeah, there you go. Because
no one's bringing up GA for a DM,
right?
But when you're
100%.
bringing it for a forward line player, you bet your ass it matters.
Exactly, and I don't understand.
In trophies, which it doesn't result in trophies.
No, but that's not. It's not an. It's
so
not tennis.
Salah's GA has not resulted in trophies.
Salah has, but Salah's is closer. I say that. I said Salah's closer to Rodrigo.
But the reality
if I put Salah on Real Madrid, that doesn't hinder them from winning trophies. That probably gives them maybe one more La Liga.
My original argument with Saka.
Yeah, and you know what he's lying. You know why
you decided to get in there.
You know what?
Make it about me in it. Get in there.
No,
make
no,
it about me.
No. You know why?
Because you wanted a piece of it as well. Pause. So then I had to battle you as well.
But
my original beef wasn't with Salah. My original beef was.
You know why he's lying?
Saka's better than Rodrigo.
Yeah, but basically LB, because you also brought in Salah, it clearly showed that you were just doing an agenda thing. But you know why LB's lying?
Not an agenda thing.
Because if you ask LB right now, today, would he take? I need a striker who won a trophy because I don't want to just name someone else.
By the way, you don't even have to go there, Ashraf. 2 months ago, he said, if they're going to piss around with Salah's contract, I would take him at City. He said it.
But
I take but taking Salah is different from saying Rodrigo. Yeah, but my point is,
these players at my football club.
If you ask him,
I'm not saying the shit. I'm saying they're not as good as Rodrigo.
If you ask LB and LB's being honest and not lying,
I'm always honest.
You're not always honest. Would you take prime Vardy or prime Harry Kane? He's not going to say Vardy, even though Vardy won an FA Cup.
You fucking what? I bet I'd take Vardy over Harry Kane. Prime.
Bro, okay, then you don't know ball. Then I'm sorry.
What do you mean I don't know ball? Jamie Vardy's a fucking ball. You don't know. This guy was killing it in the Premier League for time.
Not better than Harry Kane. Not better than Harry Kane. Doesn't matter. Not better than Harry Kane.
He actually won trophies for Leicester. Led the line.
Not better than Harry Kane.
Tormented defenses. The guy's beast, man.
Still not better than Harry Kane. Doesn't matter. He's not better than Harry Kane though. So what does that mean?
Anyway, speaking,
Brian Vardy, it was a mega, mate. Trust me.
Who's the better striker today? Who's the better striker today? Oyarzabal or Harry Kane? Who's the better striker today?
I don't know. I've not seen that Ozil guy.
He's won a trophy though. He's won the
Euros. I can't.
But it doesn't matter. By your metric, trophies is what matters, right?
No.
Oyarzabal won the Euros. Harry Kane won nothing.
Win trophies, you're trash. I didn't say that's the reason why. I'm saying there's got to be some output in terms of a trophy.
Guys, he's contradicted himself 10 times in the last 10 minutes.
I'm not. What you're trying to do, yeah. I've said Saka's a good player. I've said I'd take Saka at City. I'd take Salah at City. But I just refute the claim that they're better than Rodrigo. And for you to say that if you offered Real Madrid Saka for swap for Rodrigo, they'd accept it is a madness.
Okay.
Okay, listen, let's just agree to disagree because Lewis is being shameless. Big up everyone locked in. Let's just get 200 likes. Nothing crazy. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Liverpool, my club. What do you guys want to say? Because the people already know my opinion.
You're finished. You're cooked. Enjoy the league because next season you won't be in the top 5.
We want to be in the top 5. Okay, you're definitely rage baiting then.
Well, I mean, at the moment you're not got.
I think you're working with Wolfie too much now.
No.
Yeah, I think so as well.
He's actually affecting you negatively now.
No, listen. If you lose Salah, if you lose Van Dijk, and you lose in Trent. You're going to downgrade on Salah, you'll downgrade on Trent, you'll downgrade on Van Dijk.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance you might not finish in the top 5 next year.
Okay, and if Salah and Van Dijk stay, do we finish top 5?
Easily.
They're not staying at this moment in time, though.
But that's not the question I'm asking.
He asked you a question.
Yeah, but if they do, yeah, obviously. But at the moment, they're going. They're literally leaving at this moment in time.
No. Ask him. No. Don't be on the edge. If Van Dijk and Salah renew, where do you think Liverpool finish next season?
4th.
Damn.
4th? Who finishes 3rd?
City, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Newcastle go above us.
You guys are overhyping this Newcastle shit too much, honestly, man. Watch them lose Bruno Guimaraes in the summer.
I don't think they'll lose anyone. I think they'll keep the whole squad and buy better players.
Even if
I
they,
think
even if they don't
Salah
make Champions
stay-
League.
I think Salah.
I think they will make Champions League. I think they'll finish
Ah,
fifth.
okay, fair. But if they don't make Champions League, you agree they will lose players.
No, I don't think they will.
Sheesh. Okay. Fair.
I think buying players, they won't maybe have as good a window as maybe otherwise wanted. But yeah, I don't think they're going to sell anyone. I don't think Isak, Tonali, Bruno, Joelinton, I don't think anyone leaves. Not this year. I think next year Isak probably leaves, but not this year.
Thing is, the reason why I don't think Newcastle finish third next season is because they're gonna have Europe next year, so they're gonna have 2 games a week, and that has affected them negatively once. I think it'll affect them negatively again.
Correct.
To be completely honest with you.
I
Yeah,
agree.
but they also hang on a minute though. You know how bad their injuries were that season, bro, and they will strengthen their squad this year and have a bigger squad.
No, I understand that they would strengthen, but whether it's Europa League or Champions League or Conference League, let's say they don't finish in the top 6 and they get Conference League or whatever, or they play Europa or they play Premier League, I don't think they can cope with 8 group stage games now as well instead of 6.
Yeah.
I don't think they can
Guys,
cope with that.
And honestly, you cannot keep taking injuries.
And
into
that's
account
actually
as-
even going on to our earlier conversation. That's one of the reasons why I don't think Forest will be here again, because I don't think they will cope with 8 group stage games.
And that's the thing, LB. I think these injuries that they had last season, the injuries we had this season, I think these things are repeating. I don't think these things are going to go away because football games are not reducing, they're increasing. I actually think at some point there's going to be a shift in football where now it's going to become like the NBA, where you keep rotating certain players, you keep doing load management. I think it'll come to a point where clubs, especially big clubs, are going to have players not starting more than 40 games a season to make sure that they're using the entire squad.
Yeah,
Just
I
because
agree,
injuries
that's
are
what
going
it
to
should
keep
be.
increasing.
Think about
Yeah,
it
and I
this
think-
way: you're gonna end the season and literally a month after go play Club World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah.
That literally makes the City players, factually, objectively speaking, more likely to get injured.
And by the way, moving on, because of this Club World Cup now, every single summer there's going to be something for players. There's going to be some tournament, whether it's the AFCON, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's the Euros.
It's only
whether it's
every
the...
4 years, though, isn't it? It's only every 4 years.
Yeah, but this one is filling because this year there was supposed to be nothing. There was no
Yeah.
Euros, no World Cup, nothing.
So in
They introduced this one.
2027, there'll be nothing in it.
No, there'll be
There'll be 2026
no,
World
not
Cup,
AFCON.
Euros, no? 2027?
No, Euros 2028.
no, Euros is 28. It's even numbers, no?
2027, there's nothing in 2027.
27 is Asian Cup and AFCON.
And AFCON, I believe maybe AFCON is 26. I don't know if they'll do it also.
AFCON's in December.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now
And
you have
Asian-
money.
Yeah,
Asian-
maybe
Asian
you're
Cup is
right.
in
Maybe
January.
Maybe you're right. 2027 there isn't anything. But then
There's nothing.
wait a second, guys. 2026 is the World Cup, which means players are gonna want to die to play next season to make that qualification, which also means there's gonna be a lot more injuries because now everyone is gonna be trying to put in 110% to get selected.
Thing is, it just purely, genuinely depends what happens in the summer. So I don't know yet. I make City favorites immediately for next year, but it depends what happens in the summer.
Yeah, of
But
course.
Yeah.
right now, Salah, Van Dijk, if they stay, I think we're going to be there and thereabouts. But we need a lot of refreshing in the
But
summer.
at the moment, they are leaving.
I think right now the one that I think leaves is Trent, and I think the other 2 stay. I think that's
Yeah,
very
but I'm
objective.
saying, I'm saying, as it stands,
The club won't lose all 3.
Oh.
We won't.
I'm just
Yeah,
no. I'm just saying, as it stands right now, all 3 of them are leaving.
Yeah, LB,
If
but
all,
you can
if
give your
all
prediction.
3 leave, we're in a top 4 race.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. But LB, what's your
Predicting
prediction?
that
Do you
the
think they will
season
leave?
prior is ridiculous. This
I-
is true, and by the way, you can go
Yeah, of course
like
it
just
is.
as much.
It is stupid. Yeah, but I
Just
think
as
all
much as
3
we're
of them are
doing
leaving.
most negative scenario, we can do most positive scenario, which is, as an
I think all
example,
3 of them are leaving.
most positive scenario.
Oh, you think
Newcastle-
all 3 are leaving? Damn.
Ashraf, right? You're Van Dijk, you're Salah, right? You've had brilliant careers at Liverpool. Brilliant. Fantastic careers. You're adored by the Liverpool fans, right? Klopp left in the summer. Unexpected. You get this new guy in. Yeah. Nobody really predicted Liverpool to win a title. They've now won the title.
Mm.
Go out on a high.
Yeah,
out on
but
a
you know the-
high. Go PSG, go Barca, go Madrid, go Bayern Munich, go Saudi Arabia. You leave
But
a
can I say
legend.
this though?
Happy days.
The problem is, so Van Dijk, I can hear it because I think Van Dijk right now, if he leaves, even though he's what 33 or I can't remember what his age is, if he leaves right now, I can think of 2-3 clubs that would still go for him, like big clubs. Salah, even though I rate Salah highly, I think he's a legend. He's one of the greatest players to ever play in the Premier League. Top 3 probably. But I genuinely don't think there's a market that exists for Salah right now in Europe, and I don't think he's going to want to go to Saudi now when he's at the peak of his not peak. He's not at
What
his
do you
peak,
mean
but
there's no market for Salah?
There
in
is
Europe?
there will be if Salah.
I'll tell you why.
If Rami
I'll tell you
Abbas,
why.
his agent, comes out publicly and says he wants to leave, look at the Ornstein article. Okay,
Bro.
the Ornstein article was Salah wants to stay in the Premier League. He wouldn't move to United or City because they're Liverpool's rivals. He said he's open to moving to one of the London clubs. You got Bayern Munich, who would happily get rid of Sané or whoever to accommodate for Salah. You got
That's the only club I can look at. That's
you
the only
got
Bayern.
if Rodrigo leaves in the summer, which is a possibility. You got PSG.
No.
You got Bayern Munich, Inter
Again,
Milan. By the way, Inter
No,
Milan.
they won't. No, they won't, Hussam. You're just naming clubs for the sake of it. The reality is, even
No,
if
Inter
reality-
Milan was factually linked with Salah
No,
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but if he goes to Inter Milan, I can see that because he might play as a striker because they don't play with wingers. So then I
Yeah.
hear it. He might play like
Him and
top with Marcus
Lautaro up
Thuram,
top, or
whatever.
him and Marcus Thuram or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But if you look at, and I don't think Salah would want that move. I think Salah right now, in my opinion, rates himself so highly. He thinks he needs to be playing for a team that is, if not favorite, one of the top 3 favorites for the Champions League. I don't think Inter Milan is that kind of team. Bayern, I hear you. Bayern, if they're willing to pay what he wants, I can hear that. I don't
Yeah,
think he
I
moves to
can
another
see that.
English club. I don't think he can move to another
No,
English
but you
club.
said
And
there's
he
no
definitely,
market for him. There's definitely a
yeah,
market.
yeah.
There is
because
a
I'm
market.
naming-
There is a market.
No, because I'm saying I don't think Madrid he won't move
Obviously,
there.
Madrid would take him over Rodrigo in a heartbeat.
No,
so
they
there you
won't.
go.
Because, no. You know why they won't do that? I think they can get rid of Rodrigo, but I think if they get rid of Rodrigo, they look for
What?
someone young. No, wait, LB, you're missing my point.
Age.
Even though exactly, because I don't think they will go for a 30-plus-year-old winger.
Wait a sec, Ashraf. Yeah, if Salah's so much better than Rodrigo, and you could get Salah on a free, why wouldn't you get him?
Because
Age.
Well, he's a
First
free
of all,
transfer.
age-
He's a free
no,
transfer.
age is one. Secondly, they will not get rid of Rodrigo to get anyone because they will say we're already the
That's
best team
weird.
in the world.
Considering Salah,
They will say we're already the best team in the world. Rodrigo's still young.
LB can
because
stop
I
being
never-
disingenuous today.
yeah, exactly.
Bro,
being
I'm not being
disingenuous.
disingenuous. This guy said
Oh,
Salah's
you are.
miles better than Rodrigo.
Salah
and
has
then said he wouldn't take
33.
him. And he's a
33,
free
bro. Are
transfer.
you
He's
not-
still banging in goals. You're telling me the goals are the most important thing.
Yeah, but
Now
I'm
all
not
of a
saying
sudden-
Salah. I'm
now all
not
of a
saying Salah
sudden-
is gonna be better. I didn't say Salah is gonna be better than Rodrigo in 5 years. I said Salah is better than Rodrigo today. But I
No,
don't think
yes.
that's
Right, but what about in 3 months? In 3 months, he's not.
Oh,
even if he's
LB
in
is
3
doing
months, they
rage
wouldn't
bait.
make that
I'm
switch.
not
Thing is,
saying
back-
you
back-
say you said he's
Yes.
better than him, and
Back-
then I'm
back
saying
to
you,
Ashraf, one
he's
second.
got an
One second,
opportunity
let me
to go
just
to
say this, let me
Madrid.
just-
You're
Scrolling
saying
now,
he's
he's
better than him,
scrolling.
and then you're saying nah because
scrolling.
of his age.
Let me just say this because LB is rage baiting.
yes.
We always
Rage
bring up
baiting.
most negative scenario for Liverpool.
no.
According
Oh,
to one of the journalists, I think it was Dave O'Cop last week, Isak is plan A, plan B, and plan C for Liverpool. So if Newcastle don't make top 4 and we could sign Isak and Kerkez this summer, we could do whatever. Kerkez is closer than ever. We could go sign players like that. We could spend heavily in the summer, and we can go back to back next season. It's a possibility. I don't need to do always negative scenario. It could be really positive. The thing is with Liverpool, I think it's the one club this summer that it's like wait and see because we will see what happens. If all 3 leave, I agree with LB. I think we're going to be in a top 4 race. That's just my
And
opinion.
actually, at the moment, they are leaving.
We shall see. Anyway, guys, this was a very entertaining stream. I appreciate you all. Yeah, this was an entertaining stream.
Bro, they've not signed a contract by April.
I don't know
People
what's
out here,
worse
they're
today,
gonna
LB
stay,
or
they're
Wolfie.
gonna stay. It's April, man. They ain't
No,
staying, bro.
I think LB because Wolfie, you're used to that. You know what's coming.
Yeah, with
LB
Wolfie,
too,
you know
out
it.
of nowhere,
LB just
yeah.
let himself down today. Yeah.
What?
yeah.
What? Because I
losing
rate
people.
Rodrigo over Salah, and then when I
No,
say, oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Real Madrid can take
Because
Salah on
we
a
have-
free, all of a sudden it's no, they wouldn't take Salah on a free. What? What are
Nah,
you talking
because
about?
we
His age.
acknowledge that's why
So-
today. Like,
There's a reason why you make a
Just to
statement and
clarify
then you
then, chat,
smirk
before we
after.
wrap up the show, that what we're gonna clarify is that Salah's better than Rodrigo, but Real Madrid wouldn't take Salah even on a free. Sound.
Now, what
Got it.
we're gonna take from this show, guys,
Good
is
show, Briz.
the pass before Haaland scores is called the pass. And to win football
It's called
games,
an
how do you? And to win football games, how do you win? You just win. That's it.
Technique.
You don't need to
Yeah,
score.
just win.
You just win.
Technique.
Don't
You just
take
go into the
Salah
game
in
and like,
even
I'm
on a
winning.
free. Even though
And
he's
here's
better
the
than
thing:
Rodrigo.
there's a reason why City are fourth right now. It's Doku's technique because he dribbles a lot. Anyway,
Exactly, guys. That's Savio's
big up to
complex.
all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing on your way out. I'm going to be doing a Chelsea Spurs watch along, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, you Spurs. I need that Chelsea meltdown pack. Listen, خلاص, man, the league is done. I just want Chelsea meltdown. Ashraf, it affects your life in zero way, shape, or form if Spurs
Habibi,
win.
they will beat Spurs. Trust me.
I know they will, but
Yeah.
if
I
they
actually
won't,
need a
we will.
Spurs win as well because my club
Yes.
is a mob, innit?
Exactly. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
You know what? For the
Anyway.
content, I agree with you. I want Spurs.
Yeah,
to
for the
win.
content. Yeah, just strictly for the content.
Yeah.
It's LB in the description. Ashraf Talks the Football and Forest Fan TV is in the description. Love every single one of you guys, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.